donate. If you have land to donate, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org today.
Look out. Yeah. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis. Oh, he's in the, oh my goodness, it's some kind of Play-Doh world of strange buildings in a game room of some kind. And the mechanical mangler Flounder at the controls on Monday. Hey, boys, starting off another wonderful week of happiness and joy. Pete Davis, an announcer. Now, what is your background there? It looks a little, looks like one of those, like a Play-Doh fort or something about neighborhood. I don't know what's going on.
You know nothing of children's toys, do you?
Not anymore, no. My children's toy, we used to make them, for Christmas. We'd
Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs and pickup
logs,
sticks.
just logs.
And, yeah. So what is this play toy action you got going there?
That's called, I know it's revolutionary. You may have never heard of it.
No.
It's called a Lego.
Oh, Legos. I remember Legos. Yeah, that's Lego. I didn't look like Legos. I remember Legos. Yeah, about Legos for my little, when my kids were little. But they were different. And we had erector sets.
Excuse me?
Halo.
I'm trying to think, what are toys that are still that current? Because Legos were current when I was a kid. They were current probably when Pete was a kid, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Adults use them now for those puzzles they put together and stuff.
One of my best friends, one of my best buddies' kids is a huge, he's got like a whole...
They make like ranches.
A forest. He's got a whole, what is it? A Star Wars
Death
section
Star.
and everything,
Anyway, well, Pete Davis and Flounder, Pete Davis, how about your weekend action and your spectacular happinesses?
Couple things. My sister celebrated her 50th high school reunion over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Southwest DeKalb, and they went up to Sandy Springs at nice Civic Center they have up there.
How many were there?
I don't
50
know.
years, so they're like 70 or whatever.
I don't know. All I know is some guy walked up. He wasn't an alumni of SWD. He was with somebody, and they started talking about it, and he said he was in radio and stuff like that. Turns out it was Ludlow Porch's son.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and of course he knows you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He knew me and everything like that. Now, she didn't get his name, so I'm not going to say his name because I don't.
Phil Hansen.
I don't want to get the wrong name. But.
No, it's Phil. Well, in fact, he pops up. He just did a thing, a Ludlow Porch, a tribute. It popped up on my Facebook page, and I reacted to it. And in fact, I said, hello, fun seekers, which is famous. We got squirrels in the attic. I mean, Ludlow was a thing, a Marine. And every Marine Corps birthday, you'd have the oldest Marine and youngest Marine cutting the cake at his Blue Ribbon Grill. I mean, he was a whole thing. Ludlow Porch for years and years and years.
Used to see him up in Swanee when the Falcons had their training camp there. He'd do some of the shows from up there in a little bit. Ludlow was one of the nicest. Yeah. Man, speaking of nice guys, I was out Friday night, and a gentleman walks up and says, hi, I'm Bruce. And I stuck my hand out and said, I'm Noel.
Noel.
And he goes, well, I thought you were Pete.
Oh, God.
And he's the first guy he's figured out where I am. But, real nice guy, nice, lovely family.
Oh, you've been out in the mountains of Macon, eh?
Yep, I've been discovered.
Oh, my. Well, there you go. Like, put a note on the DoorDash companies or something. Look out.
And we found a baby turtle about an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Little bitty baby turtle.
I'll be darned. I have rescued turtles before. In fact, I had a wife once who brought one home and put it in the trunk of her car. And brought home, and we put it kept it in the backyard for a while just to play with and stuff. And I've had a couple of examples when I've had turtles in the middle of the road, and I always stop. If there's a turtle in the middle of the road, I always stop. And remember, the rule is that if a turtle is stopped in the middle of the road or whatever, if he's facing to the right, that's where he wants to go. He knows where he wants to go. Don't turn him around and put him back on the other side of the road where he came from, because they know what they're looking for. They just, have trouble getting there sometimes. So they say if he's aiming to the right, take him off the road to the right. So it's where he's headed for. I mean, that's what I've always understood anyway. And I have experience, I think I mentioned some time ago, with the snapping turtle when I was in TV, and they got it on videotape of me getting out of the minivan where we have our minicam live remote stuff in the truck, and got video of me going up with a towel to this huge snap. It was like as big as a wash bin turtle in the road. It was a snapping turtle snapping around like the head whipping. Oh, man, brutal. Yeah. Not happy things. Anyway, and the Flounder and Mrs. Flounder, the lovely probably Veronica. Happy weekend, Tub. I think. Didn't you have
nice
a family
relaxing
thing?
weekend.
Did you have a family thing or not? I can't remember.
Not this weekend, no,
Okay.
sir. We kind of just chilled and went around to downtown Roswell for a little bit and kept it nice and local.
Excellent. Well, as it should be. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? Our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230.
I told you my grandfather used to stomp snapping turtles to death right in front of us.
Oh, my. Well,
Yeah.
God.
He didn't like them.
No, wow. Yeah, I think it's a little...
They were eating the fish out of his pond, his crappie and his perch.
Well, yeah, turtles got to eat. Although, I don't know, is there any need for a snapping turtle? Are they
No.
good for the environment? Or it's like poisonous snakes. There's no reason to have poisonous snakes.
Kimmer, it's poisonous
Well,
turtles.
that's Lake Lanier. Lake Allatoona. I was always afraid of Lake Allatoona. They're poisonous turtles. And again, so we left Allatoona and went to Lanier when I got a bigger boat. God, those were the freaking days.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I need a bigger boat. Yeah, I needed something. A freaking lobotomy. But seriously, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? I did. We got news. We got the best in thing. We got threats on so and so. We have a passing to talk about. Also, we really haven't spent much time, except in sort of askance, talking about the woman named Clancy who murdered her children, and they're finishing up the closing arguments fairly soon. They're having rebuttal witnesses right now in her trial, and so it's within just a reasonable amount of time they're going to have closing arguments and it'll be over. I don't know how. The whole thing is just horrible, and it's getting a lot of social media attention. So we'll talk about that too, and we'll talk about threats against Donald Trump, and we got a lot of things about. In fact, I found a bunch of things this morning which I thought interesting about the power of television and child acting and liberals, and it all kind of reads together somehow, and so we'll kind of talk about stuff like that a little bit. First of all, do you guys, in fact, let me ask you this. Do you guys have, well, Pete, you don't because you have a stick shift. Flounder, do you have a remote control starter on your car?
No.
Does Veronica have one on her car?
I don't believe so.
Pete Davis, have you ever had a car? Well, you drive stick shifts. So did you ever have
it's
one?
not a good idea with a stick shift.
No, you can't. Well, you can't do it. You have to, you wouldn't work. It's junking forward. You plow into the car next to you. The guy in front of you. Oh my God, it's on its own. And by the way, my first car was a 1953 Chevy. I've driven stick shifts my whole life. I hated automatics. And again, remember the old thing, if you're ever stuck in a stick shift on a railroad track, and something happens, if you have any battery power at all, if you just try to start it without using the clutch, it'll jump forward. Anyway, and using the clutch, of course, being able to jump start. Okay, but the reason I was mentioning is because many years ago, when these first became popular, I bought my kids a remote control starter for their cars. So in the summertime, if you're coming out of your house and the cars have been outside all day, or you live in a shopping center or whatever, and your car's out there in the sunshine, you can, from a couple hundred yards away, you can start your car and have the air conditioning running. So by the time you get there, it's starting to cool off, stuff like that. It was a great idea. And this had to be 20 years ago, maybe. I don't remember when they first came out, but it did. But I never had one. Okay. Now, Saturday, I was calling my guy up at my car dealership at Schottenkirk, and found out that my car's ready. And he said, now I can have the guy drive it down to you next week. And I said, no, I'll come and get it. So I drove the loaner back. They give me a loaner and pick up my car. And I said, I'll go up there and get it and save you time on the way to the stable. So I drove up there Saturday morning, and I picked up my car. And as we're going, I dropped the loaner off. And as we're going out to the parking lot, he said, oh, this never gets old. And he went click, click on my remote starter, and my car started. And I said, wait a minute, you put a remote control starter in my car? He said, no, it's always been there. I said, wait a minute, I've had this car for years and I didn't know that I have a remote starter in my car? Oh, every summer, every hot day for the 3 years I've had this, I didn't even know it. What an idiot. What a freaking idiot. I didn't know. And then I didn't know how to work it.
Got to own your owner's manual.
I don't do. Anyway, and so I finally figured. I got back and forth. It said, it's not working. He said, no, hit the double thing to get the horn bonking, and then do the quick tap. Anyway, so I figured it out. So now I've got I can't wait. I used it for the first time, over the weekend.
I had a crazy thought.
Yeah.
if they get these self-driving cars, when you order a Tesla, from the dealership or something, do they just send it to you? It just drives itself to you.
Way. Yeah, they put their GPS in it. Hey, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've already signed the papers, or maybe they have a companion car.
It pulls into your driveway and beeps, I'm here.
Yeah, a robot arm has some paperwork out the window, you sign it, and then another car comes and picks it up and takes it back automatically with nobody there. Unbelievable. And by the way, what else I found out? There are no more Shelbys. Shelby's dead. Shelby's gone. No more Shelbys. Oh. And the reason there was some like a payment for copyright or whatever. But now Ford still is making macho, 800,000 horsepower Mustangs, but they're called dark horses. They got different names. But their name Shelby's done with cars. So I have one of the last Shelbys. I didn't know. I can't believe it.
Huh.
No more Shelby. I mean, that's a huge... Carroll Shelby was, a monster name in automotive history.
Yeah,
and now there are no more Shelbys. I'm not going to make any more Shelbys.
Well, that'll help your resale value.
Well, yeah. My year is the first year they came out with a big motor. And so
the only issue is over time, they're not going to be manufacturing the parts anymore.
Well, now I think you can still, I don't know. Again, that's the other thing. I waited a long time for a new transmission just got put in. Thank God my warranty covered it. But
so both of our cars have been discontinued.
That's right. No longer making them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm happy I've got it and I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
Not my Toyota RAV. They're still pouring those babies out.
That was one of my daughter Jennifer's favorite cars, but she always wanted a RAV4. So, all right, anyway, Caribbean Flounder, how you doing? It's Monday. Look out. Here we go. Stand by.
If you listen to Extra, share it with a friend. It's how we grow and how we can reach everyone in the Atlanta community that believes in the American way of life. If you value the station, help us grow by telling someone about the Extra 106.3 app.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now through August 31st at Marietta Toyota. Commuting every day? Well, the 2026 Toyota Camry is now all hybrid with up to, get this, 53 miles per gallon city driving, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And right now, Camry is the smart move for drivers who want Toyota reliability, everyday comfort, and better fuel efficiency for the road ahead. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. We'll go to Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Camry Hybrid as low as 4.99% APR, 48 months, now through August 31st. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium, Marietta Toyota. Since 1975, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through SCTF. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/31/26. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
Summer is here, and hopefully vacation is on the horizon. Whether the beach, or maybe you're more of a mountain person, you've planned and saved in order to take some much-needed time off. You planned your vacation. Shouldn't you plan your retirement? You planned for a week in the sun, but have you planned for decades of golden years? Master Plan Retirement works with you to create a holistic, comprehensive retirement plan in order to offer the one thing your time off needs the most: peace of mind. From income and growth, tax strategy, legacy planning, and more, Master Plan Retirement walks alongside you to help ensure your golden years stay golden. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Visit masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Summer is coming to an end and football season is about to kick off. There are plenty of things to celebrate this time of year, but when this celebration includes alcohol, do not make the wrong decision to drink and drive. Georgia has a zero tolerance for drunk driving, meaning all drivers caught over the limit will be arrested. No exceptions, no warnings. That's why the Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to avoid the risk of a DUI arrest by planning ahead for a ride with a sober driver. Sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Your garage door struggles. Your windows are drafty. Your front door's outdated. We feel your pain. Every opening of your home is ready to be upgraded. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Updating every opening of your home will improve your curb appeal and lower your energy bills. With flexible financing and payment options, you can start saving right now. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. Have a question. Am I the only person who thinks communist Democrats have lost their minds? Yes, communist Democrats coming to a city near you. Democrats have abandoned law-abiding citizens, shut the front door, and I thought fake safes were bad, much less fake Americans, communist Democrats. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and secure your valuables from the bad guys. We carry true American brands like Browning and Fort Knox. And remember, we don't use crackheads or illegals to deliver our safes. So go to AtlantaSafehouse.com. That's AtlantaSafehouse.com.
Kimber, Pete, and Flounder on Monday with you and phone calls coming up here. 1063-404-741-1230 is our number. 5 years ago, on this day, English musician Charlie Watts died in London at the age of 80. Charlie Watts originally trained as a graphic artist. Charlie Watts developed an interest in jazz as a youngster and joined the band Blues Incorporated. He started playing drums in London's rhythm and blues clubs, and that's where Charlie Watts met future bandmates Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Brian Jones. In January 1963, he left Blues Incorporated and joined the Rolling Stones as the drummer and remained with the group for 58 years. Charlie Watts dead at 80 on this day 5 years ago. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. And to the phones, taking priority. Walt, you're on the radio. Walt, how you doing? Happy Monday. What's up?
Hey, happy Monday, guys. Yeah, I always want to see Mick Jagger and Carly Simon kiss each other. That would be
yeah, there you wouldn't have missed that for anything, that's for sure. That'd be a great poster.
Anyway, on your Mustang,
yeah,
you don't get your Mustangs from Ford anymore. You get them from Shelby America. Shelby America still makes Mustangs.
Oh, they do? Oh, well, now
it's a separate. They sold the rights to that Shelby American.
Oh, well, I'll be darned. Now, is Shelby American still the Shelby company?
No, it's a separate from Ford. It's not Ford anymore.
Yeah, but I know
Shelby, they did.
I'm confused.
Another thing too.
Yeah.
When a person buys one of those self-driving cars,
yeah.
If they don't make a payment, it drives itself back to the dealership.
Yeah, it just goes home. Walt, I think you have something there. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Again, I don't know anything. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, thanks, Walt. I really appreciate you calling it. I know it doesn't really matter to me because I know no one's going to give me another car loan these days. Yeah, we'll get you about an 8-year loan there, Mr. Peterson. I feel, yeah, that'd be great. Good luck to you.
8-month loan, baby.
Yeah, 8 weeks. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is 71. Mike Huckabee is currently the ambassador to Israel. He used to be the governor of Arkansas, and, of course, his daughter is governor of Arkansas. What's that?
I would have voted for him for president. I thought he was a really nice man. I met him once. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, I never met him. Met him, but he seemed like pretty straight stock. He seemed like a straight shooter and dependable, not flamboyant particularly, but active and assertive, and seems like a tough guy. Southern state.
Smart. He's very smart. Now, some people didn't like it because he was a preacher, but he was very smart.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark Huckabee, happy birthday, 71 years old today. And let's see, on this day in history, in 1456, Many believe that Johannes Gutenberg's first work using movable type was the Bible. It was probably the second or maybe even third, but the Gutenberg press was in operation by 1450, and it's known that a German poem had been printed before the Bible. However, it's known that Gutenberg began the painstaking process of hand-placing every letter for every page of the new Bible during the same year, 1450. It's believed the 42-line Gutenberg Bible was completed on this day in 1456. About 180 copies of the book were printed, which seems rather small for a first edition, but again, 1456, the Gutenberg Bible. Holy cow. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And Flounder, if you will, sir, I had a crush on a certain girl who was on TV named Mary a long time ago, and Mary, I'm afraid, has passed away. Shelley Fabre, dead at 82. I never missed a show. If you're a certain age. In fact, Flounder, did you ever see the Donna Reed? You probably never saw the Donna Reed show, did you?
No, I did not.
Pete Davis, did you ever see Donna Reed show?
A rerun, baby.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's really funny. I really do like having kind of three generations among us because it really does show the passing of life. Shelley Fabre had a brief illness, died at 82, confirmed just over the weekend. And she was, of course, Mary Stone in the Donna Reed show. Never missed it from 1958 to 1965. Shelley Fabre, known for her role Christine Armstrong in Coach with Jerry Van Dyke and Craig T. Nelson. Also starred opposite Elvis in several films, including the 1965 movie Girl Happy, the 66 movie Spin Out, and the 67 film Clam Bake. Shelley Fabre released her chart-topping hit Johnny Angel in 1962. And by the way, she was embarrassed about it. She said, I'm not a singer. I don't sing. And they wanted to, this was back in the day like when Ricky Nelson was starting to get popular and he became a big star. And some of these child actors were coming out of the television to kind of do something else. And she was a great example like Ricky Nelson. And she said, I'm not a singer. And she hated to do it. And she hated when people wanted her to sing because she never thought of herself as a singer, as I recall. But she seemed like a sweet girl. She didn't have like a really sparkling personality to me, but she seemed sweet and nice and just a really lovely American girl. She played, the last thing she did was a voice actress for Martha Kent in the animated Project Superman Brainiac Attacks. It was 20 years ago. She's survived by her husband, Mike Farrell, the actor from the MASH. Mike Farrell, her husband, she married him in 1984. Shelley Fabre previously had a liver transplant in the year 2000 after an autoimmune hepatitis diagnosis. Shelley Fabre died at 82. It's a shame. Now, 326. Cameron, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okay, we got to go NBA again. By the way, Pete Davis, I have a million sports reaction things.
Yeah, I know.
Flounder, were you trying to get me, or was that my
Yeah, real quick, we got Clayton on the horn. He's got a question about your Shelby.
Absolutely. Clayton, welcome aboard, man. Happy Monday. What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, going good. I'm enjoying the show.
Thanks.
And was curious, one of the other members of the Mafia called, wanted to know what the horsepower was on your Mustang.
My Mustang is 760-ish, a little under 800. It was
okay.
They stepped it up. The first Shelby I bought when I retired was 2008, I think, or 2000, something like that, and that was about 740, I think, and they've upped it. And now, I mean, Ford does have a Mustang Dark Horse, and I think you can get them now between 800 and 1,000 horsepower if you want. I mean, it's really, my God. I mean, my car, you can't, if I nail it, if I'm driving along and I nail it, it's going to start, going all over the place, but it's fun. I mean, I love the torque of it. I just love this, makes me feel like a man. I'm sorry, it does. I can't help it,
Hey, what kind of horsepower does your chopper make?
Actually, originally when I had it built at Earl Smalls Harley Davidson, the original motor they put on, I replaced with a Jim Screamin' Eagle, which had about 120 horsepower, and then that died, and I didn't ride it like for 6 years, and then Steve Studstill, thanks to Kevin Houck and decided to try to sneak my chopper repaired for me, unbeknownst to me, on my birthday, and my daughter Jennifer was all part of it anyway. So, but Kevin Houck, my buddy, Delta buddy, was rich behind it, and he got his chopper mechanic. His motorcycle Harley, brilliant mechanic guy, Steve Studstill, put it all together, and he redid everything. And I don't know what the horsepower is on that chopper now, but I'll bet you it's 150 or something because it's a monster. I mean, it's brutal. I love it.
I don't want to make you jealous or anything, but I drive a 3-cylinder that has almost 60 horsepower.
A 3-cylinder? What kind?
It's a little Geo Metro. I bought a new 96, and it's been a great car.
I'll be hell.
And it's a stick, and that's one of the things y'all mentioned earlier.
I know. I miss it.
I always park my stick in neutral with the e-brake.
Yeah.
So if you do that, you could use remote start.
I think I'm not even sure whether they're allowed in standard shifts. I guess you probably could set it up that way. I don't know. But again, I miss I want a stick shift. If there was any way I could have a stick shift in that thing, I would have. I love my last Shelby, and I had a 302 Celine and 2 Shelbys and a Roush and a GT, and they're all stick shifts. And this one is not. They don't even make them anymore. And in fact, there was a little thing today in history on Fox News through the day, and it was talking about the decline of people making stick shifts. They're all gone now, although I think Toyota's demanding they keep at least a couple of their models making stick shifts. But again, like Pete was saying, I think Porsche's one of the few companies still making the standard shift. But I mean, I hate it. And again, they say, well, city traffic. I don't care about city traffic. I miss my clutch. I want my 6-speed. I have a 7-speed auto, shifter, a paddle shifter, but which is fun and it's still good. But it's not like controlling with a stick shift. I miss it. I really do miss it. So anyway.
Yeah, even though my left knee is starting to get old, I still love the clutch.
Well, that's the thing.
My car doesn't weigh nothing. So even with 60 horsepower, it gets pretty good. I mean, it handles good at least. Let's put it that way.
Well, I know. I'm sure it zips around. Those little cars, they go. They're cool. Well, let's say thanks, man. Good to talk to you as always, and have a great week ahead. Now the Braves are off, I think they're back in town tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Peter's there?
Yeah, correct, sir.
Excellent.
You are correct.
And by the way, we got a million sports things coming up. I have a whole I have a whole freaking sheet of just sports things that I did over the weekend. I'll mention one now, and then we got to do a break, and we'll come back and do some newsy stuff. I did want to point out I've been critical of throws from Major League Baseball, throws from the outfield. How many times have you seen a guy in the outfield try to throw a runner at home and it's 40 feet up the baseline or over his head? It's just well, on Saturday night on the ESPN Top 10 replay, ESPN Saturday night, the number one replay was Acuna throwing out the runner at second base from the outfield like a freaking rocket and perfect right exactly where it had to be to tag him as he tried to slide into second base for a double. And Acuna's throw was like a rifle shot. Congratulations. Anyway, Kevin Pete and Flounder and sports coming up and Flounder's funnies and all that. Oh, God, there we go.
Who decides what you're allowed to say online? Free speech is under fire now more than ever, and Extra 106.3 is proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta, where the conversation doesn't need anyone's permission. Listen live or stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Calling all hunters, hikers, and anglers. Join the Braves for hunting and fishing night, Saturday, October 29th. Score a Chipper Jones Realtree APX Camo replica jersey giveaway. Plus, our partners at the Georgia Department of Natural Resources are bringing the outdoors to Truist Park with live reptiles, a massive aquarium display, inflatable archery, hunting license sales, and more fun for the whole family. Get your tickets now at Braves.com/hunting and fishing. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
At Jim Ellis Chevrolet Chevrolet, buying your next vehicle can be as simple, convenient, and personal as you want it to be. With the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can start or complete your entire purchase online right from home.
Shop at your own pace, on your own time, with no pressure. Prefer to handle things independently? You can. Want guidance along the way? A knowledgeable Jim Ellis Chevrolet sales professional is ready to help whenever you need it.
Value your trade, explore payment options, complete your purchase online, and even have your new vehicle delivered to your home.
Buying online may be convenient, but having the right dealership behind you matters. Jim Ellis Chevrolet is a local, family-owned dealership built on trust, transparency, and long-term relationships.
Unlike some national auto dealers, Jim Ellis Chevrolet takes care of you before the sale, during the purchase, and long after you drive home.
Convenience makes buying easier. Trust makes owning easier. Visit JimEllisChevrolet.com
or stop by the dealership on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, this is Los for Howard Brothers and Skag. Is your grass growing faster than your mower can handle? It's time to level up with Skag. Built tough, made to move, and cut so clean your lawn will make your neighbors jealous. Skag mowers don't mess around when it comes to getting the outside work done. You can find your next Skag mower at Howard Brothers. Their team can get you leveled up with the best mower in town. Find a Howard Brothers near you at howardbrothers.com. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Skag and Howard Brothers.
For the purpose of this commercial, we'll refer to erectile dysfunction as Ed. This is the story of Ed. No one likes Ed. Ed can be a real problem, a real downer. Ed can come between you and your partner. And if you let Ed go unchecked, Ed'll continue to destroy your hanky-panky plans. Ed has taken over your life. On date night, all you can think about is Ed. When you roll over in bed for the morning smooch, there's Ed. And when you're cooking a romantic dinner for your wife, there's Ed in an apron. So how do you get rid of Ed? Kick him to the curb with Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They're Ed experts. They understand what causes Ed to be Ed, and they know how to get Ed going in the right direction. He'll learn to stand on his own with proven all-natural therapies that don't require surgery or downtime. So if you've had enough of Ed, take matters into your own hands. Call Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911. Learn more online at tbtofga.com.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
There we go. What a story, Michael Jackson. The whole thing beginning to end. Good grief. In fact, we'll talk about child actors and stars later. But first, 2009, this was the day that the coroner ruled officially Michael Jackson's death was a homicide caused by a mix of drugs meant to treat insomnia. That was 2009. In February 2010, Dr. Conrad Murray was charged with involuntary manslaughter in Los Angeles. Murray pleaded not guilty. He was released on bail but would be found guilty in 2011 and was sentenced to 4 years in the Los Angeles County Jail. The death of Michael Jackson. And again, one of the stars of Little House on the Prairie is talking about Hayden Panettiere and his death and young people dying, and Hollywood needs to do something about it. We'll talk more about that later on. Let's see. Kim, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Birthdays include Mason Williams, classical gas, and among other things, Mason Williams is 88 years old today. And on this day in history, it's 1869 when Cornelius Swarthout patents the first American waffle iron. Waffle irons actually originated in the Netherlands in the 1300s. They were typically two hinged iron plates designed to be held over a hearth fire for baking. Many would also imprint elaborate patterns on the waffles, like coats of arms, landscapes, and religious symbols. Swarthout's patent was for an improvement in waffle irons, consisted of a novel handle for opening and closing and turning a stovetop waffle iron. And this day, August 24th, is celebrated in America as National Waffle Day. I love waffles. I have a waffle iron. In fact, I got on a kick. I'll bet you I made waffles every night for dinner for weeks. Like an idiot. Because it's not easy. I mean, you got to do the batter. I mean, that's not true, isn't that? But it was frequently. In fact, I'm going to make waffles this week. Although Flounder, I made a meatloaf again. I haven't made a meatloaf.
I will let you know later how it is.
In fact, I added a little something different. But again, it's probably pretty much like I always do. So I don't know whether it's any good or I don't have any judgment anymore. But anyway, I did, and I made cookies. So I brought you cookie and meatloaf.
The cookie was delicious.
Oh, you had it already? That was one of my double whammies, the sugar cookie with turtle and sugar together.
I like.
Anyway, Kim, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-12. What's the matter?
Tell them about Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday. Shuck and Shack, baby. Shuck and Shack. Shuck and Shack. It's the oyster place and seafood place, and they've got all kinds of sandwiches and drinks and stuff. It's a fun place to go to have seafood, plus a lot of other stuff as well, if you're not a seafood person. And it's a fun place, and we're going to be the location in Cumming at 415 Peachtree Parkway. Peachtree Parkway, incoming, Shuck and Shack Oyster Bar this Wednesday doing our show live. So it'll be because it'll be fun.
Can we get the governor to put a moratorium on naming any other streets in this state Peachtree?
Peachtree, yeah, I know. There's Peachtree Parkway. Well, there's a million. I mean, we all know. And they go forever, and then you pick them up again. And so, in fact...
And then you turn on to West Peachtree.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's the other thing. Peachtree Corners,
And you know what? When was the last time you saw a peach tree?
I don't remember ever seeing a peach tree in my life. I'm sure I have, but I don't remember as a kid, probably. I'm sure I have.
I'm sure you've seen it.
Well, of course I have peaches on a tree, but again, in fact, I have no idea.
They act like they're everywhere. They're not.
I haven't seen
South Carolina grows more peaches.
Yeah. Well, that must have been a good reason for it originally. How old is the peach tree thing going on? Since 1860?
Since the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, we must have had a lot of them back then because I haven't seen a peach tree, and I'm trying to remember the last time I saw peaches on a tree. Seriously,
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Apple trees, a lot of, but I don't remember the last time I saw a peach tree. That's pretty strong. That's very good. Anyway, all right, Kim, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Here we go. Happy Monday. Now we got sports. Oh, I got more sports things here too, Pete Davis. I mentioned congratulations to Acuna for that throw that was the number one top thing on so and so. I also got. Have you been watching Little League Baseball World Series?
Yeah,
I've been watching on. And I got a lot of comments about that. We'll talk more about that later. I was kind of surprised that. Some of those kids now at 12 years old, one kid was 6 feet tall. The guys were 5'10". I mean, holy criminy.
We had
12.
One. At Glenwood Hills, he was like twice as big as all of us. And if he hit the ball, it was gone. But he had such a deep hitch in his swing where he'd drop his hands way down and bring them back up again that he struck out 8 out of every 10 times.
Yeah. Well, they're just, you're still, 11 or 12 years old. You're learning your body. It's all mechanical, limbs and, gangly stuff like that. But still, I mean, this guy got up there, he was 6 feet tall. And the next one was 5'10", 5'11". I'm going, holy mackerel. Anyway, and I got a lot of complaints about what's going on with the umpires. So we'll talk more about that later on, too. Also, I have a question. You know what I have a question about? And I don't know if you know, I should have Googled it. Watching baseball, watching the Braves. I promise we're going to get to the actual news things. Watching the Braves over the weekend, a couple of, and they mic'd them up again. I'm not sure I like that. I don't like talking to players live in the field. I guess it's cute, but I don't know.
Do you like anything new?
I don't know. I don't know. It just, I mean, they're good about it. So, hold on a minute. Now time to concentrate. Oh, my God. Anyway, now when they pull the cards out of their pockets, when a batter comes up to the bat, the players in the field, especially the outfielders, will pull a card, a little index card, plastic card, out of their pocket and look at it, and then they know something. I assume they know what the tendency is of the batter, where he hits the ball usually, or is it how far you should? What's on that card?
Where he told you, the guy last night, he says it's where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's written in codes and stuff, and I wonder what is actually on the face of that. What do they see when they pull that card out? Is it numbers? Is it L42, and that shows left side of the second base area? I mean, I'm curious as to what they look at, and then know their positioning of where they think the ball might be going more often than not. I'm guessing, but I wonder what the code. And they can't describe it because it's only a little teeny card for all the players on the team. So clearly, it's some kind of code. And I wonder what the code. I don't. No one's ever said, or I've never seen what's on those cards.
The code when Matt Olson comes to bat is back up.
Well, there you go. Now, see, that makes sense.
That's all they ever told us when we played.
Yeah, go back.
The only instruction we got was back up.
Move in, back up, yeah. Anyway, all right, another sports thing here, and then we'll talk about best into Donald Trump and Iran and the thing and the Senator Lee and stuff like that. Enes Kanter, freedom. Once again, here we go. And again, this whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous, and I'm glad that he's forcing the issue, and they're going to eventually have to come to a conclusion, and then it'll all be over, so we can all start being idiots.
This came over a few minutes ago. Supposedly, sources are telling ESPN that the WNBA says they can't play.
Oh, really?
But it's not official yet. But they're going to come up with some reason they can't play. I don't know what it is.
Well, but no matter what it is, they're going to have to define something. They're going to have to define the rules against somebody born with a Schneckefluke. I mean, that's as simple as that. So that's a medical term. I don't want to use biblical things. Anyway, now really quickly, in case you missed it, Enes Kanter Freedom was at the Fever Sky game, the Sky and Fever in Chicago. And then Sophie, as I understand, Sophie Cunningham made a three-pointer, and Enes started celebrating, and that's when a girl named Natasha Cloud started screaming at him, and then he raised his arms, and she did some more screaming, and then they threw him out of the arena. Flounder, if you will, here's a soundbite of Enes Kanter Freedom being interviewed after he got tossed out of the arena about exactly what did happen. Check this out here.
It was towards the end of the third quarter. Sophie Cunningham shot a three, and I put my hands up to celebrate, right? A couple positions later, Natasha came back and started screaming and yelling and said, she's not going to sleep with you.
Not going to sleep with
I was like, I am not trying to sleep with her. I'm just here to protect women and support her. And then obviously after that, she started yapping and she started to walk towards me. And then I was like, I'm just here to protect women, and that's all. And then she started to yell. She started to use some very heavy language. She started to actually cuss. And I was very shocked that there were a lot of kids and there were a lot of teenagers was at that game. And I just cannot believe that she was just cussing and using those F-bombs. Then after that, the security guy, came, and then I was like, listen, you need to leave. I was like, can you please tell me why do I need to leave? They said, look, you just need to leave. I don't want to say they dragged me, but they pretty much pushed me to leave the gym.
Yeah, he said he got kicked out of the WNBA game for supporting women. Let that sink in, America. And later he wrote, it's always women hating on other women. And by the way, this guard woman, Natasha Cloud, who attacked him, the first thing she said was, she's not going to sleep with you. I mean, what a nasty, just vicious, hate-filled rant. I mean, they're bringing it down to the lowest possible common denominator. I don't know anybody, I've anybody who's watched any of these stupid games with these idiots in the WNBA who thinks that Sophie Cunningham is some kind of a bimbo. I mean, she's not going to sleep with you. Like, that would be a real thing. I mean, just vicious, hate-filled, nasty, anti-female, anti-family, just, vicious and snotty.
Did you see his T-shirt?
No, I didn't.
It said, woman, noun, definition, adult female.
Yeah. That's what started it all. I mean, it's unbelievable. And they're going to have to come to... Now, you said again, very quickly, if you just joined us, the WNBA, apparently, according to at least one source, has said that these men will not be able to play, but they haven't said yet why they said that. We don't know why they said that.
That's ESPN reporting that, so...
Well, it's going to have to be about gender, how you were born.
Lawsuit is what it's going to be about.
Well, it's obviously going to be a law. Yeah, no question. And I'm glad they're doing it because we have to stop this. This is nonsense. It's these freaking liberals are going crazy. Oh, so much more now. Kevin Pete and Flounder. Here we go. All right, it's only Monday. Everything's fine. Everything can be good. I like it.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your Extra 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the Extra app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
With all the rain we've had lately, excess moisture can build up in your home, leaving it feeling sticky and muggy, even when your air conditioner's running. That's why Central Heating and Air Conditioning recommends Whole House Dehumidifier. It works with your HVAC system to remove excess moisture throughout your home, helping improve comfort, reduce musty odors, and create a healthier indoor environment. And if it's time for a new system, now's a great time to upgrade. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $2,700 in carrier rebates and up to 60 months of 0% financing with approved credit. Since 1947, Georgia families have trusted Central Heating and Air Conditioning for dependable comfort. Call 770-GET-HEAT. That's 770-GET-HEAT. Or go to centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta carrier experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bank Shares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bank Shares, member FDIC.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett. Now through August 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the trusted 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. It's no surprise why Consumer Reports named Subaru the best overall automotive brand for 2 years in a row, based on reliability, safety, owner satisfaction, and road test evaluations. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to discover and a lot to love. Get special low rates on select vehicles from August 1st through August 31st on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com. Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services. Visit Subaru.com/CR to learn more.
Your yard, it stresses you out. Between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, it's pet friendly, and it looks amazing all year round. Those in the know use ATL Turf Go. ATL Turf Go is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a backyard of your dreams with a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. They handle everything from design and grading to construction and drainage solutions. So whether it's residential lawns or recreational sports fields, ATL Turf Co. can build you a stress-free space you'll love. So say goodbye to mowing, maintenance, and your wasted weekends. Learn more and schedule your free in-home consultation today. Call ATL Turf Co. 678-403-2339. That's 678-403-2339. Or visit atlturfco.com.
Leon was about to leave the military.
My biggest concern was, what am I going to do next?
He found out about My Computer Career and their military transition program.
The Cyber Warrior program takes you from not knowing anything about a computer at all to being a subject matter expert.
How long is that going to take?
In the span of 4 months, I was able to get 4 different certifications.
4 months? Leon's advice?
Highly recommended.
Become a certified cyber warrior in just months at mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. VA education benefits available to those who qualify.
Judas Priest. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Judas Priest, all right. 1990, Judas Priest successfully defended themselves against a lawsuit after 2 fans tried to kill themselves while listening to the Stained Glass album. Both fans eventually died, one immediately from a shotgun blast, the other on a second attempt years later after because of a methadone overdose. The prosecution in the lawsuit claimed that there were subliminal messages in the group's music that caused the 2 17-year-olds to carry out the suicide pact in 1985, but they lost their trial, or the families did. Judas Priest. I wonder where that. I remember people saying, I guess it was old movies or TV shows. Someone would say Judas Priest. Was that like Harry or the guy from Superman? Maybe. Oh, that's what it was. Was that Perry White? Is that what he used to say?
I don't think he ever said Judas Priest. No,
God,
that's too close.
What the hell did Perry White? Superman.
He would say, "Great Caesar's ghost."
Maybe that was it. I guess. I wonder where did the phrase Judas Priest come from? I wonder, because people would use it as opposed to saying swearing. If you didn't say golly darn or
it's close to saying Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Judas was the bad guy, so maybe it's just.
I guess the priest of it. But it's kind of a weird thing how somebody came up with it as an alternative.
It comes from the biblical figure Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus. But
right.
Judas Priest is an explanation, is an American, blah, 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 blah. Nothing doesn't really give up.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, someone came up with it, and it stuck because I remember as long, I haven't heard anybody say it in probably 50 years, but I remember as a kid, Judas Priest.
Cheese and crackers.
And what was it? W.C. Fields. Godfrey Daniels. I guess there's a lot of ways to do it. Godfrey Daniel. I'm a little mud turtle dove. Anyway, I tell you, but there's some of the scenes of his with the bank dick. I mean, that with W.C. Fields, a bank dick. A couple of the funniest scenes you've ever seen. Anyway, within the first 10 minutes of the show. Hey, Kimmer Pete and Flounder, how you doing? Happy Monday. Our birthday list includes Craig Kilborn. Craig Kilborn is 64. He was the original host of The Daily Show. He also went on to host The Late Late Show until 2004. He did sports at some point. Craig Kilborn, 64. I think he's just doing podcasts now. He was on ESPN. And
the dumbest moves of all time, leaving the Daily Show.
Yeah, and then when he went on the Daily, that was really a good show. I mean, in fact, wasn't that where Colburn or Clyburn, whatever his name was, wasn't one of his correspondents? Back in the day. That's how Stephen Colbert originally started, was as a news correspondent.
Colbert was for Jon Stewart, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Craig Kilborn is 64 years old today. And on this day in history, yes, a little musical history note for you. 1967, this was the day. In the early morning hours, Keith Moon had just finished celebrating his birthday from the day before, 1967, by driving his Lincoln Continental into the Holiday Inn swimming pool in Flint, Michigan. Just yikes. Anyway, Kevin Peyton Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okie doke, I got some newsy stuff here, and I got a lot more sports questions here coming up, too, and things to talk about. And holy crap, it's sports coming up officially a little after 5 o'clock. Economic D-Day. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the new sanctions imposed on Iran starting today target the country's 5 most vital lifelines financially. Iran exploits digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping in other nations to prop up its economy. Flounder, if you will, here is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on what's happening starting today against Iran financially.
Iran now faces a very clear choice with only 2 paths before them: complete global isolation and a subsistence economy, or a path back to normalcy with an opportunity to rejoin the global economy. Today, we are launching Operation Economic Outcast to foreclose every other option available to the Iranian regime.
He says this is economic asphyxiation of this regime, and countries who violate sanctions against Iran will be forced out of the global financial market backed by America. So I mean, these new sanctions give countries trading with Iran a period to cut off those relationships. If they don't, they should expect they will leave the dollar system. America will cut them out of the dollar system. I mean, this is, and again, this has got to be a major monster step. And the insiders in Iran are saying, we can't do it now. We're dying. We got to stop this. And yet the, Iranian Guard is still, Republican Guard or whatever they call them, is, still causing the trouble. So we'll see. It's got to do some bombing. I don't know why, economically it's not going to do the whole thing. Anyway, what do I know? All right, Kevin Pete and Flounder. Hold on, we got Flounder's Funny, and then we're going to celebrate a birthday of one of my favorite comedians. Kind of coming up, too. First, a little Flounder's thing here for you.
I'm attracted to one-star women. One-star women have qualities. They stick up for their man. It's like a 4-star woman. If her boyfriend or husband gets in a fight in a bar, what'd she do? No, Kevin, walk away. Be the bigger man, not a one-star woman. Get him, Earl. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Here, stab him with that. Get him. Get him. Get him. The police show up. You better back off of me, pig. I pay my taxes. They always point out that they pay their taxes. They're referring to sales tax. And if they're on vacation in their mind, they can do whatever they want. Ma'am, you're not supposed to be smoking in the pool. I'm on vacation. It's a pool. It's made out of water. It's not like I'm going to start a fire in it. Your ice machine's broke on the 3rd floor. Maybe you ought to handle your business for it. Try and handle mine. Vacation. 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 Do I got to spell it out for you? V-A-Cation. Fix your ice machine. Fix it.
Mr. Greg Warren.
Greg Warren. Very funny guy. Also, there's a birthday of one of my favorite comedians coming up. We'll talk about later. Today's his birthday, and we'll be playing some of his hits for you, too, as well. Flounder's Funnies, and we got tweets, and Holy Crap at Sports, and all that other stuff. And I have a problem with watching ESPN once again on the weekends, and now they brought another. I don't know what they're doing with those little dancing boys in their little tight suits
and their white sneakers.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I'm not a fan.
It's not. You're not on the tennis court anyway. All right, hold everything. Kevin Pete and Flounder. You got news here. You got stuff. We got it all here.
We got Mark on the horn.
And Mark is next. Mark is next. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Economic asphyxiation on Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how the U.S. Treasury Secretary describes the next move against Iran.
We are launching an economic onslaught against Iran's financial connections around the globe.
Secretary Scott Bessent says the clock is ticking for countries and entities to sever economic ties with Iran or face their own consequences, including possible secondary sanctions, adding that no one is above being held accountable.
But the big question here is, how does the U.S. get Russia and China on board? They are the critical nations in terms of supporting Iran. Russia, as it continues to prosecute its war in Ukraine, and China, as it continues to look towards Taiwan, both have vested interests in keeping the U.S. tied up with Iran.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Tel Aviv. The U.S. and Canada blaming each other for a breakdown in trade talks.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says President Trump wants Canadian leaders to negotiate in good faith following a breakdown in talks last week.
They were offered quite a good deal last week. They chose to reject it.
Higher import taxes hit dozens of Canadian products over the weekend. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says his government will respond dollar for dollar and says Canada will only return to the negotiating table when the U.S. has the right attitude.
We could not accept what the U.S. had offered, nor could we give what they asked.
Carney also says he intends to expand trade relationships with the EU and other partners.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The judge just denying a defense motion for a mistrial in the case against Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts mother charged with murder in the deaths of her 3 young children. The defense claims postpartum psychosis. Closing arguments are expected this week. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up 139 at the bell. America is listening to...
Here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Born on America's darkest day, September 11th, 01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, they have helped American heroes ever since. Heroes like United States Navy Chief Shannon Kent. Kent was killed in a suicide bombing, leaving behind her husband, Joseph, their 2 kids. Tunnel to Towers honored her sacrifice and paid off the family mortgage, giving them security forever. Donate $11 a month. Maybe you have a car to donate, land to donate. Please go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Da-da-da-da-da. Used to see him at the dry cleaners in Sausalito. Or was it Mill Valley? I can't remember now. Huey Lewis and the news. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We got Mark coming up. 1985, Huey Lewis and the News started 2 weeks at number 1 on the singles chart. The Power of Love. The song was written for the soundtrack of the 1985 movie Back to the Future. And I didn't know this. This song became Huey Lewis and the News' first number 1 hit on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Their first number 1. I can't believe it. 1985. Hold on. Let's take a computer there. So get off my screen. I'm hitting the X like 9 freaking times on my stupid lap thing. I hate New York Post. God. Sorry. I hate you. Sorry. Huey Lewis, Back to the Future, number 1 Billboard. In the film, McFly, of course, and his band begin a hard rock version of a song for the Battle of the Bands audition at the school. They're interrupted by one of the judges, played by Huey Lewis, telling Marty's group that they are just too darn loud. Huey Lewis, I saw him at the last minute. I've been working the Olympics, 96 Olympics. Oh, God, stupid New York Post thing. It just disappeared my story again. Well, I hate this. Just anyway, Huey Lewis in the News. And I've been working all day down at the Olympics, drove home to Alpharetta, and then somebody wanted to go by and see Huey Lewis, so we drove all the way back down again to see Huey Lewis in the news, which was fine. But again, I used to, back when I was single and living in San Francisco, and I had my Harley Davidson, and on weekends I would drive my Harley across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I would go into Sausalito or Mill Valley or someplace, and I would they had a little diner there, and they made their specialty was a cheeseburger with a fried egg on it. And it was freaking delicious. I had it every single weekend. And I met Huey Lewis and see him once in a while at the dry cleaners. And, of course, I have my dry cleaner stories with the two chicks fighting over the camera. But I won't get into that now. To the phones, take a priority. We have Mark, founder. Is that correct? Mark, you're on the radio, man. Welcome. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, Kim, we're doing great for a Monday. Listen, I just wanted to follow up on your expression of displeasure with the whole miking up of baseball players during the game.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong about this. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I would add to that, can we get the camera off the field?
Actually, I've been seeing. You mean when the guys follow them around and stuff when they're coming into home, or yeah. I guess they have to do it because everything's video. But it bothers. I guess it bothers me. But I still watch. But it just kind of nags at me a little bit. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I understand it's baseball, and on its face, it can be a pretty boring thing. And maybe they're trying to a couple different things to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that just looks ridiculous. Guy gets a home run, and guy with a camera and a technical crew following behind him all the way through the dugout and high fives and all that. Get out of there.
I know. Although I have been noticing a lot more that more and more teams, I think maybe I just haven't noticed and don't watch that much baseball on TV anymore. But I've noticed a lot of teams have a celebration when a guy hits a homer or does something special. They have different kinds of hats and they have a crown. And of course, we have 2 tomahawks and stuff like that. But more and more teams are doing really weird kind of celebrations when the home run hitter comes back into the dugout, and it's kind of cool. They give him a cape or a hat or something or other. I don't know. It's kind of I like to see that. That's kind of fun.
That's fun, but like I say, in the camera down in the dugout following the guy, that's a bit much.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Yeah, just strangely. And again, I've got a million things on sport. Well, in fact, I'll do this again. Pete Davis, Holograph of Sports, coming up about an hour from now. But Pete, I'll tell you, I was watching some of the Little League World Series, and I do kind of like the fact where they show who's the kid's favorite player and what their special talent is on the bottom of the screen, little chyron writing. I mean, that's nice, it's cute, it's nice, know about the kids. But I'll tell you, I have seen some of the worst umpiring of my life.
Every year. It's every year at the Little League World Series. It's horrendously bad, and those poor kids get screwed every single year.
What was the famous? One of the teams was a called strikeout to end the game, and it was 4 inches outside. I mean, they're not even close.
They're jokes,
and that's why I've noticed they're not showing many replays like they do in the majors. They show a lot of replays on call. They don't show them in Little League because they're so bad. How could they not get people? 4 inches is a long way outside the black. I mean, how could you miss it that far?
I know. I don't understand it. It's a black eye on Little League, and they don't seem to care.
It's just a shame. And again, and the other thing is, speaking of Little League, and I do like the fact when they have the majors playing during the World Series, and so the major leaguers will say who was their star that they looked up to when they were kids, and it shows them, Duke Snyder or somebody. I don't know, but I know, but it's kind of fun to see.
Nobody these days is picking Duke Snyder.
Old number 4, the old avocado grower from California. But again, I do like that. It's kind of a nice throwback, or kids in the pros, and it reminds me of baseball just being a fun thing that kids did, and it was just that's what I miss about baseball. I wish I could had somebody to throw the baseball. I could do it every weekend if there was some place and I could go just throw the baseball around, just for fun.
You may be watching a lot of Little League and minor league next year.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Anything new on any kind of talk about anything?
Manfred last night said that they won't. He went out on a ledge. He says, "We want to play ball next year." Oh, really? That's nice.
Oh, wow. That's nice to know. You want to, anyway. God.
I tell you what, though. I mean, sentiment usually goes against the players after a while. And right now, I think most people are siding with the owners on this because the Dodgers thing, is.
Well, how far do you go? They got
bad.
billion-dollar contract. Isn't Shohei? Isn't it like $1 billion? Literally like $800 million guaranteed or something for? I mean, it's unbelievable.
They found that guy who was promising him all this deferred money. Is that money going to be there? Because this guy may go to prison.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm just.
And if they put a salary cap in, when does it start? Because you already have all these contracts. You can't tell these guys they're not getting them anymore. So what kind of cap is it going to be? It's so intricate that there probably will be a work stoppage because there's so much they need to work out, and they're nowhere near each other right now. The players will not have a salary cap, and the owners are pretty much adamant they will.
Well, they're going to also have to work out rookie starting salary type scales or something. That's going to go sky high. I assume everything else is just exploding.
But all you got to do, the NFL does it, and they're the most successful league in the history of leagues.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Do the right thing and do it. And by the way, again, I don't know whether they're going to talk about this later on in Holy Crap of Sports, but again, the issue now of these pros, there was a lot of talk about this over the weekend. Oh, my voice went. About how these pros who couldn't make it as a pro go back to college to make more money than they'd make as a pro. They made $800,000 on the rookie team, a kickoff team or something, and got cut, and they make $3 million going back to college. My God!
Surprise! Lane Kiffin is in the middle of that.
Yeah.
What an LSU! What an absolutely surprise! And as soon as that happens, it's over. There's no more amateur, anyway. College football will immediately become a minor league of the NFL. I don't care what they say. That's what it's become. If they let them to go back after they signed a professional contract to go back to college, then it's over.
I mean, I don't understand it. It's the minor leagues. Why they're going to class just to get the girls? I mean, what an offensive thing to make. And again, the whole college experience.
It's the adults doing it.
Yeah,
it's not the player.
Yeah.
It's the adults, the coaches, the head coaches, the ADs, the boosters. It's all of them. Well, we want to win.
Well, hell,
you're going to destroy the sport, but you're going to win.
And the problem is, if I were 23 years old and start a pitcher or something, I'd do it. Or a quarterback, whatever. I'd say, what the hell? Am I going to say no to this? Am I supposed to, not take care of my family forever as a 23-year-old kid?
That's correct.
Good grief.
It's the people running the sport that are destroying it. And it's the greed, and it's the adults that are screwing it up.
I tell you, I don't like where we're going. I don't like a lot of where we're going.
And the Congress is not going to fix it because if their plan is to give the NCAA the most corrupt and absolute ridiculous organization in the history of sports, you want to give them the more power to control this? Yeah. They can't even control what they have now. They've caused this problem.
Yeah. How often do we want Congress to solve anything, by the way?
And don't give the power to the NCAA. Yeah. They've proven they're incompetent.
Yeah, I know. It's bizarre. Justin, I saw this. A quick note here. Fox News has made a change for the 5. Excuse me. Sorry. They're going to shake up the thing of the New York Post. Here we go. Okay, they're moving Emily Campagno to a full-time seat on the 5. She will be, Emily Campagno will be with Greg Gutfeld, Dana Perino, and Jesse Waters, with Harold Ford and Jessica Tarloff rotating in the Liberal seat. So Emily Campagno, Greg Gutfeld, Dana Perino, and Jesse Waters on the 5. And then, let's see. She was on to join the program. She'll leave her whatever show. I can't remember what she's on. She's on now, so whatever show is now, she's leaving there. So congratulations to her. She's, as I recall, she was, I think, a professional cheerleader for a team, but also a prosecutor. And I mean, she's hot, she's quick, she's smart,
good looking. That's
very
why
good
she's
looking.
getting the
She's
job.
a hot. She's a little
another lawyer because we need more lawyers to give us their opinion.
Yeah. She's a prosecutor and a little gymnastic little hottie style chick. Anyway, and very aggressive. I'll bet she never shuts up. She's I'm sorry, I know that's wrong to say, but I'll bet she never shuts up. Anyway, Kimmer Pete Flounder, 14 minutes after 4 o'clock. It's Monday, and more news coming up here, and things and stuff, and lawsuits, and holy smokes. All right, look out. Here we go. Stand by.
It's time time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
So here's your not-so-little secret about the Democrat socialists, a.k.a. communists out there running for office. That truth is, these people thrive on the abject stupidity and ignorance of the American voters. Look at what they're promising everybody. Free child care, free paid family leave, free sick leave. And of course, there is no such thing as a free lunch. So who pays for it? We're going to tax the millionaires so that they pay their fair share. So here are some actual statistics about the top 1% of taxpayers. That would include the millionaires and the billionaires. And you will never get this from the media. Let's look at that top 1%. They earn 22.4% of all adjusted gross income, but they pay 40.4% of all total income taxes. Take a look at the bottom 50%. Those are Democrat voters. They earn 11.5% of all the total income, but they only pay 3% of the total income taxes. Who is not paying their fair share? By the way, if you want tax rates instead of comparisons of actual taxes paid, the bottom 50% of taxpayers pay an average tax rate of 3.7%. The top 1% pay a tax rate of 26.1%. The actual numbers do not support this, the rich need to pay their fair share BS. That's why you never hear it from the media. They're for the Democrats, you know. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
You know, I love representing people and companies that I know and have known a long time. And sometimes, it makes a difference because there are a lot of companies who want to do something to make your house better. Well, that's where Jeff Shea comes in at Peach State Windows, serving Georgia homeowners for, I think, like 50 years. I started working with him 25 years ago the first time. And Jeff understands something pretty important, that a lot of homeowners in this area really don't want a different house. They just want it to maybe improve a little bit, maybe a better version, the house you already love. Well, here's where Peach State Windows shines. Better performance, better energy efficiency, and better comfort. And I love deals. 8 premium double-hung vinyl replacement windows installed for just $3,995. 8 of them installed for under $4,000. How about a lifetime warranty? And how about 0% financing for 12 months? Look at their work yourself. Check them out, peachstatewindows.com. And here's that number, 770-485-8011. Trusted by Georgia homeowners for generations. peachstatewindows.com.
When I first started using a CPAP, getting supplies and equipment was a horrible hassle. It pretty much stayed that way until I discovered CPAPs, etc.com. Same-day shipping on anything you might need, including travel CPAPs, hoses, masks, you name it. Same-day shipping. CPAPsETC.com or visit their store in Alpharetta. So easy, and you could be preserving your health and saving your life.
At Georgia Power, we want to help you save money and energy during the heat of summer with 3 easy tips. First, set your thermostat to 78 degrees and use a ceiling fan to help circulate air. Second, keep your air vents clear and change your filter monthly. And third, turn your lights off when you're not using them. Please visit georgiapower.com/myenergy for more tips, information on different rate plans, and energy assistance options.
Sponsored by Georgia Power.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now through August 31st at Marietta Toyota. Thinking about going electric? Well, the 2026 Toyota BZ gives you an all-electric Toyota with no gas stops, a quiet commute, and confidence of buying from a dealership you know. For drivers who want to spend less time at the pump and more time enjoying the drive, BZ is a smart way to try all-electric without leaving Toyota behind. Every new Toyota includes a nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's unlimited time and unlimited mileage as long as you own it. We've been voted Best of Cop for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Toyota BZ, 0% APR for up to 72 months through August 31st. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of True Stadium, Marietta Toyota. Since 1975, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
0% APR for 72 months with approved credit through SCTF. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/31/26. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Giddy up, go, little darling. Come on in and shake a howdy with Tom Peterson. My old country show. Waylon Jennings, on this day, 1977. Waylon got busted by federal agents for conspiracy and possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. 1977. A private courier had warned the DEA about a package sent to Waylon Jennings by a New York colleague that had 27 grams of cocaine flown in by Braniff Airlines. The charges were later dropped and Jennings was released. The episode was recounted in Jennings' song, Don't You Think This Outlaw Bit's Done Got Out of Hand? Waylon Jennings. When I worked as a country DJ, when I came back from the Marines, they got my boss. Oh, God, I remember his name. Paul Adams was his name. And he was the boss of KHAT Radio, where I was Tom Peterson, because Kim's a girl's name. Waylon Jennings and Buck Owens, all those guys were coming to the station. And Paul Adams said, he wanted to be Waylon Jennings' manager, but he said, the only problem is I couldn't beat him up. Waylon Jennings was a tough guy, and he didn't take orders from people very well back in the day. Anyway, just a little connection of some kind with the old country star there, Waylon Jennings. Anyway, cover Pete and Flounder, and on this day in history, 1572, thousands of Huguenots, French Calvinist Protestants, are killed all over France, ordered by King Charles IX. The Pope Gregory the 13th, the Pope congratulated the king for the slaughter of thousands of Huguenots and ordered a medal struck to commemorate the slaughter. King Charles's mother, Catherine de Medici, had convinced Charles, the king, that the Huguenots were about to rebel, so he authorized the murder of their leaders in Paris by Catholic authorities. Many of the most wealthy and prominent Huguenots had gathered in Paris to attend the wedding of the king's sister Margaret to the Protestant Henry III, the future Henry IV of France. After the initial wave of killings in Paris, King Charles ordered the killings to stop, but his orders were ignored and the massacre spread throughout France, called St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre, 1572. Good grief. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. And among our birthday list, by the way, Dave Chappelle, 53 years old. I love his characters. The crackhead Tyrone Biggums, the blind black guy who happened to be a white supremacist, Clayton Bigsby. Dave Chappelle, 53 years old today, gave up $50 million when he quit Chappelle's show, and the third season was in production. He took off. I think he was in Europe and disappeared for a while. He came back, but he made up for it by selling 3 comedy specials to Netflix for $60 million. Anyway, Flounder, a little Dave Chappelle, if you were, for the little people here, just for
make fun of poor white people because I was once poor. And I know that the only difference between a poor black person and a poor white person is that a poor white person feels like it's not supposed to be happening to them. Everything else is the same. I know what it's like to have a cold house. I wasn't allowed to touch the thermostat growing up without asking my father. And it would be freezing in the house. I'd be like, Dad, please, can I please just turn the heat up to 32? It's really cold. And my dad would say, just put more clothes on, David. Got all 3 of my outfits on. When you look at me, I'm freezing up here.
Oh, Dave Chappelle. I mean, what an actual talent. And I think one of my favorite things may have been when he had the auction to see what race gets to own celebrities. Like, is Tiger Woods? I bet, the Chinese are betting $10 million for Tiger Woods' heritage. No, it's the Cablinasians are going to go for him. Anyway, Dave Chappelle, what a freaking talent. Kevin, Pete, and Flounder, here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And coming up, we have Holy Crap at Sports. By the way, watching over the weekends. In fact, I've sent a message to the boys here over the weekend when I saw it. Joey Jones, I'll tell you what, I'm so impressed with this guy. Joey Jones is a Fox News host, and he's a combat decorated Marine who lost his legs, got blown off as a bomb specialist, and he's from North Georgia, and the more and more he's on a weekend Fox News anchoring stuff, and he is smart as a whip. He knows his history. He's just really impressed by this young man. And Joey Jones, and by the way, who's a friend of I think Tug is a good friend of his, and maybe the smart one too, and know him for years ago and stuff like that. He's a Georgia kid. And I watched him this weekend, and they were doing the story, one of the stories, the update about this guy, Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker, you may have seen, is the new face of the Democrat Party, along with the other traitors and communists and insurrectionists who are trying to destroy America. Hassan Piker is a dangerous individual with a lot of followers. I mean, he's a hate-filled devil incarnate. He's really a danger to America, and he has a lot of followers with this new wing of the Democrat Party, the socialists, and even worse. And Joey Jones was on his Fox show, and he was on camera, on TV, and he said, how tall is Hassan Piker? I think he's, 6'1", 6'2"? Well, I didn't know they stacked that high. And he used the four-letter word for it on Fox television right out loud, and stood there looking at the camera, and I thought, man, good for you. Good for you. What are they going to do about it? And plus, it's about time. It reminds me, there's no way in a God's green earth that this entire attitude of the liberals in America would have ever even been tolerated, let alone celebrated, not only on TV, but among families and in public. This whole business of tearing down and hate and communism and destruction and violence. I mean, it's just Hassan Piker. I mean, he's communist. El Said, whatever his freaking name is. His mother's a terrorist. His sister's a terrorist. He's a Jew hater from Waco. And this is unbelievable. And Joey Jones, a jarhead with no legs, wearing that combat recon badge most of the time on his jacket, has the balls to stand up there and say, he's full of crap. I didn't know they stacked it that high. I mean, my God, talk about blunt and crude and perfect. And I was celebrating it. It's about time somebody said, now, wait a minute. And, of course, it's on weekends on Fox, so I don't know what. I didn't hear any reaction. I didn't see anything on social media. But, again, I'm glad to see it. I really am glad to see it. I don't know what the hell's going on with the liberals. In fact, I saw somebody was making a note. Now they're calling them these demo communists who are out today making so much political power. They're called Lululemons, like Lululemon or Lululemon stores. Now they're Lululemons. I mean, it's just absolutely outrageous. Anyway, salute to Joey Jones for putting it on the TV live and right out loud.
Dog torturer too, by the way. He hates dogs and he tortures dogs.
I mean, there's no everything
allegedly.
Everything he stands for is horrible. I mean, he's making songs celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I mean, they're all doing it, but again, I mean, it's horrible. And, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, and, they rely on that to be filled with hate. And it's just,
But they call for violence.
Yeah.
And that's not supposed to be allowed. But, they're Democrats, so they get away with it.
A great example right here. Senator Mike Lee is saying, wait a minute, something bad's happening. TikTok's the lips of TikTok over the weekend. Libs of TikTok Sunday showed a post of a guy fed up over the failed assassination attempts on Donald Trump and called for mass action. TikTok guy said leftists have no choice but to grab guns, rush the White House with the intention of killing him and the entire Secret Service. The guy actually says out loud, quote, "I don't know how many times I have to say this blank online. We have to kill. There is no other blanking way." Man, all of you are just blanking retarded. You're all blanking pansies. Another word. You're all stupid. It's simple as this. We all grab guns. We all group together. We all rush the White House. We actually killed Trump and all the Secret Service. We are killing. We have to kill. There's no other way. I don't know how many times I have to say this blank online. We have to kill them. There's no other blanking way. Saying it out loud on TikTok, social media, where people, unlike me, get their news. I mean, and this, people rely on stuff like this. This is real. I mean, why isn't he in jail?
Yeah.
You can't do
unless
that.
something happens to him, then, it's wide open.
Honestly, Libs of, God bless Libs of TikTok. They bring our attention to a lot of this kind of stuff, just to at least point it out. But frankly, I don't know why it's not time for some vigilantes, some civilians saying, "Oh, really? Well, you have the right to do that. We have the right to react to it." And see what happens. Now, frankly, I think we're coming to a confrontation. We're coming to a thing. It's just we're built. We've been in HCIS. They tried to kill him. They shot him in the face.
If they get back in power, they're going to try some of this stuff, and it's going to get violent.
It's going to get very violent. It's just going to be. Yeah. Kimmer Feed and Flounder, happy Monday, 404-741-1230. We got Holy Crap. We got tweets. We're going to do some tweets. Let's do some tweets and have a little fun here. And Flounder's Funnies and Holy Crap at Sports and your calls on 106.3. Happy Monday to you. Like
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, buying your next vehicle can be as simple, convenient, and personal as you want it to be. With the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can start or complete your entire purchase online, right from home. Shop at your own pace, on your own time, with no pressure.
Prefer to handle things independently? You can. Want guidance along the way? A knowledgeable Jim Ellis Cadillac sales professional is ready to help whenever you need it.
Value your trade, explore payment options, complete your purchase online, and even have your new vehicle delivered to your home.
Buying online may be convenient. Having the right dealership behind you matters. Jim Ellis Cadillac is a local family-owned business built on trust, transparency, and long-term relationships.
Unlike some national auto dealers, Jim Ellis Cadillac takes care of you before the sale, during the purchase, and long after you drive home.
Convenience makes buying easier. Trust makes owning easier. Visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by the dealership on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Hey, this is Los for Howard Brothers and Skag. Is your grass growing faster than your mower can handle? It's time to level up with Skag. Built tough, made to move, and cut so clean your lawn will make your neighbors jealous. Skag mowers don't mess around when it comes to getting the outside work done. You can find your next Skag mower at Howard Brothers. Their team can get you leveled up with the best mower in town. Find a Howard Brothers near you at howardbrothers.com. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Skag and Howard Brothers.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Now, you still, see, at the beginning of September, we're going to have to do a different
check in with
update.
Pete and the scoreboard.
All the
Stories
wonderful
prepared
things that
versus stories
get the
actually covered.
show going and stuff, or some different kind of list or something. I don't know.
You only did 8 today.
Well, I know. I took it easy. I don't like anything today. I find you stuff that it's just I didn't have it. This was bad morning.
Done 4 of
Well,
8.
50-50. That's Hall of Fame material right there. By mistake, clearly. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. If you would like to join us, let's see, birthday list includes that very attractive Ann Archer, the actress, 79 years old. She's a beautiful woman. Known mostly for Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, but she was also in Fatal Attraction and other things. Ann Archer, 79 years old today.
I'm not going to be ignored.
Well, that was the blonde girl with the beady eyes, but
Close.
still, Glenn Close, yeah. As the rabbit stewing in the pot on the,
man.
oh, God. I mean, Josh, whoa. Was that Michael Douglas, I think? Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, mercy. Glenn Close, gosh. Let's see. Speaking of TV, 1979. On this day from 1979 to May 7th, 1988, families learned the facts of life. They learned the facts of life from Blair, Natalie, Joe, and Tootie. Dick Clare and Jenna McMahon created the family sitcom as a spin-off of Different Strokes. The Facts of Life, a spin-off. Edna Garrett, Charlotte Ray, went from working as a housekeeper for the Drummond family to becoming a house mother for all-girls boarding school in Peekskill, New York. The show wasn't much when it started. It was the NBC lowest-rated series. It never ranked higher than number 24. At one time, it was the network's most popular comedy series. Had a large cast. Molly Ringwald was in there, Lisa Welchel, Kim Fields, Mindy Cohn. They had a time for Edna in each show to share a teaching moment with the girls. 4 of the characters, though, were cut after season 2, or before season 2. After getting in trouble with the law, Blair, Natalie, and Tootie were separated from the other girls at the school under the care of Edna, which is Nancy McKeon, and a tough girl from the Bronx added to the cast. In season 4, the girls graduated high school. In season 5, Edna opened edibles. The girls became her employees. Then a fire destroyed Edna's shop. Lemons turned into lemonade. The gang turned the space into a gift shop. George Clooney had joined the cast of what the hell, Facts of Life. And Edna's sister, Cloris Leachman, took over the gift shop while Charlotte Ray left the series. The show ended with season 9, and then they tried some reunion stuff. But anyway, I mean, George Clooney anyway, I never watched. I know of the show, but I never actually watched. And I think, didn't one of them get pregnant? Wasn't it like Tootie? One of the...
I think the fat one got pregnant.
Yeah, deliberately, so it wasn't the beautiful one who would have all the boyfriends or something. It was to show. I think it was a touching way to deal with it. I don't really remember, but I remember it was a serious thing at the time as an issue for primetime, family television.
Obviously, Edna was a little short on the facts of life of the girls.
Apparently, yes. She should have listened to Bill Clinton's medical director there. What's her name?
Joycelyn Elders.
Yeah, Elders. Let's see. By the way, a couple things that struck me this morning, I thought might be weird to think about or talk about. Liberals are having fewer babies. And they're definitely having fewer babies than conservatives. And when we see what's happening in America today, we wonder whether this is one of the reasons why the left has gone kind of nutso. The Institute for Family Studies did some studying, and they found out that self-identified conservatives have an average of about 1.5 kids compared to about 1 for liberals. Again, it's all rounded off, obviously. Donald Trump's administration is positioning itself as pro-family. J.D. Vance had another baby. They're telling people to have more babies, proposing financial incentives like $5,000 baby bonus for mothers giving birth. Research shows conservatives are more likely to view the family as vital to fulfilled life. Liberals put greater emphasis on education, creative pursuits, and career. A Pew Center research poll showed Republicans more likely than Democrats to say having children was highly important for living a fulfilling life. Democrats more likely to say that creative activities were one of the most important things to them. Democrats are less willing to choose parenthood when it comes to a priority for career and friendships and travel. The Family Studies research found liberals report higher levels of concern about parenting and their mental health. They're afraid to be parents. Adults in major urban centers with a lot of liberals have fewer daily opportunities to interact with parents and children, leaving them less confident about starting families of their own. Well, please, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things happening in this country. And again, for one thing, if we start losing the number of families, we are going to have a problem with taking care of...
we already have a problem.
Yeah.
Western Europe has collapsed. Japan's collapsed. China's collapsing. All over the world, except a few places. I think Africa and some parts of Asia are still growing, but we're barely breaking even if we're even doing that.
Yeah. And I don't think we're even sure, or we don't spend much time trying to acknowledge what that means.
Socialism never worked before. It sure as hell won't work when you don't have enough people producing and making money to support the growing older population that is retiring.
That's right.
And again, there's not enough people.
I'm one of the examples. I mean, I'm kind of the top end of it, but I'm the example of people, the baby boomers, who are, flooded the system, and now there's a whole nother generation going to be coming by with fewer people to make the money, to make the businesses, to buy the goods, to spend the money around.
Yeah, there's not only less producers, there'll be less consumers, which means the economy comes down. And we're already seeing that the global economy is slowing down, and we're not having such a global economy. You're not making as much stuff in China as you did. A lot of it's coming back because it's easier and cheaper to bring it back here. I mean, it's just a lot going on. It's already happening. It's not going to happen. It's happening now.
Yeah, I know. It's brutal. If I just said goodbye to my girl, my sales girl.
No one cares.
Smoking a Tootsie Roll Pop, which I give her.
No one knows who you're talking about.
I know, but she lets me call her baby, and I'm keeping her. And I bring her 2 lollipops every day.
You can always just wave at them.
I do. I waved, but I had to acknowledge she should have. I didn't want her to think I wasn't.
She can't hear you, though.
She was actually had one of my Tootsie Roll Pops that I left her today. But she was enjoying. I left her today. I don't leave her Tootsie Roll Pops. I leave her Charm Pops and Blow Pops. And today's Blow Pop, I believe, was a cherry. The Charm Pop, I think, was strawberry. Although I have to remember that thing. Anyway, 4:41. All right, hold on a second. I promised a little something here earlier. Can we do a little something here? I think with Kara Pete and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Happy Monday. We're going to play some more Dave Chappelle bits later on just for fun, along with some Flounder's Funny. But we have memes, and we have tweets, and we have these one-liners. We got all kinds of stuff coming up here. And we also have a little thing called Pete's Tweets.
You mentioned it was Tom Hughes' birthday last week.
Yeah, the king.
By the way, one of his books, he was speaking to Athenaeum and another place in London last week. He went over there to talk about his book. Yeah.
Yowie Godowie. Wonderful.
If you look up Tom Hughes' bio on Wikipedia, you can read this. Hughes has been broadcasting in the Atlanta area for decades and was affectionately referred to as the King among his coworkers. Yeah. This is a nickname initiated by afternoon show host Kim Peterson, who was let go the same day.
Well, you know the story. You want to know the story of that?
Yeah, you told it last week when you talked about Tom. Tom quit. You were told to leave.
Yeah, they're telling you, bring your playbook.
Tom was allowed to say,
I heard him on the radio saying, I'm retiring today. I thought, oh, my God. And then I came into work and said, bring your playbook. They want to talk to you in the office. Boom, you're out.
You guys are the last two there.
Yes, sir. Turn out the lights.
Twitter Books asked the question, what's the last book that made you cry? And Sahaj answered, University Physics with Modern Physics, 14th edition by Roger A. Friedman. To which Roger A. Friedman replied, no doubt tears of joy. To which Rebecca replied, I used this book to press my tofu tonight. It brought me joy. To which Roger A. Friedman replied, in pressing your tofu, you are applying a normal force, Chapter 4, and increasing the bulk stress on the tofu, Chapter 11. Well played.
Very funny, highbrow meme back and forth. Very clever.
Now what? Historic Vids tweeted some of the reasons people in Chicago were fired in 1905. 8 people fired for being drunk. 4 were canned for having swelled heads. Another 4 were loafers. One said his boss was dishonest. One made a joke about the boss. 2 made a blunder. 2 said a coworker had pull. Talk about a phrase no one uses anymore. He had pull.
Had pull, so he's in with the boss. Is that what that means?
1 started a false rumor. 1 poor guy mixed up a coffin ring with a wedding ring. 1 guy lost his job because the boss killed himself. 1 revealed an office secret. Another advised a coworker to ask for more pay. Another got fired because the washerwoman didn't approve of her. This is 1905, why people got fired in Chicago.
Jeez.
1 said he was too good for the job. 1 was impudent to the customer. Another was impudent to his boss. Another gave the boss bad advice. 1 guy refused to marry the boss's sister. Another opposed the boss's politics. 1 joined the wrong church. But my favorite reason that the guy lost his job in Chicago in 1905, I told a ghost story.
Holy cow. Scared everybody, I'm guessing? Jeez.
And longtime listener Mark sent this nugget of joy.
Yeah, yes, sir.
The headline in the Coosa Valley News reads, Floyd County deputies spend day pulling out adult sex toys from rear of Love Library.
Thank you very much.
They knew what they were
That's exactly what they was. The headline writers, no idiot. Anyway, Kara Pete and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Quick Babylon B. Liberal white women are standing weeping outside the court trying Jack the Ripper. Also, Luigi Mangione says, hey, he is only guilty of stealing the hearts of liberal women everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Anyway, Kara Pete and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Once again, and by the way, speaking of liberals and television in Hollywood, some more reaction to what TV does to us as we watch, and also a plea for something different in child actresses and actors by Melissa Gilbert, former Little House on the Prairie. It's all coming up. Kevin Payne Flounder next. Look out.
Safe streets in Atlanta shouldn't be a luxury, but it's your vote that will make the difference. Real talk about real neighborhoods without the excuses. Only on Atlanta's conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Braves fans, mark your calendars as the Dodgers and Rockies come to town August 25th through the 30th. Fans can look forward to the Harry Potter and HBCU specialty ticket packages during the week. Both include a game ticket and a specialty bobblehead.
And that's crushed to deep right. Knocked out by Olsen.
Then make sure to arrive early on Saturday for Hunting and Fishing Night, presented by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources and Realtree. Enjoy a variety of interactive exhibits, including live reptiles, a massive aquarium display, inflatable archery, hunting license sales, and more fun for the whole family. Plus, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Chipper Jones Realtree APX Camo replica jersey. The week wraps up on Sunday as the first 3,000 kids through the gates will score the Kids City Connect Sliding Mick giveaway. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out the fun and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country. Join Daniel Madelon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. or listen to the podcast anywhere. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need A Second Chance Bail Bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a few hours. So make the right call. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett. Now through August 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the trusted 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. It's no surprise why Consumer Reports named Subaru the best overall automotive brand for 2 years in a row, based on reliability, safety, owner satisfaction, and road test evaluations. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to discover and a lot to love. Get special low rates on select vehicles from August 1st through August 31st on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com. Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services. Visit Subaru.com/CR to learn more.
Hey, what's up? It's Drake Baldwin here to talk about my personal Rookie of the Year, Superior Plumbing. They say you can't be Rookie of the Year more than once, but Superior has been proving themselves for over 40 years as the GOAT of plumbing. Whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or water heater, I call Superior Plumbing, and you should too. They handle each job with care and honesty. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, call 770-422 Plum.
When Keisha Lance Bottoms got elected, she said,
"We must be good stewards of your tax dollars."
Just 30 days later,
taxpayers covered the cost of a first-class ticket for Mayor Bottoms' husband to fly to the Super Bowl
on her taxpayer-funded credit card.
Atlanta taxpayers shelled out more than $2,600.
Worse,
more than $11,600 in luxury chauffeured car service in just her first 5 months in office.
And taxpayers covered this tab.
The State Ethics Commission has fined Keisha Lance Bottoms.
She accepted over $110,000 in contributions that exceeded legal limits,
violating campaign finance laws.
The commission's chairman declared
it's an egregious violation of the act.
And the verdict from a former prosecutor?
It smells bad. What don't you get about the rules and regulations? If Mayor Bottoms wants her legacy to be too greedy to care, they're off to a great start.
Keisha Lance Bottoms. She's out for herself, not Georgia.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
Galileo. Hard to miss all the layering in this song, and here's why. In 1975, Queen started recording Bohemian Rhapsody at Rockfield Studios in Monmouth, Wales. It took them 3 weeks. Freddie Mercury had mentally prepared the song beforehand and directed the band throughout the sessions for 3 weeks. May, Mercury, and Taylor sang their vocal parts continually for 10 to 12 hours a day. It resulted in 180 separate overdubs. The 6-minute suite has since been inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, named the most streamed song of the 20th century. 10 to 12 hours a day. Sing their vocal parts, 180 separate overdubs. Man, that is a lot. Kipper Peyton Flounder. Our birthday list includes Steve Guttenberg. Steve Guttenberg, 68, superstar of Police Academy. Also, casino owner Wayne Hastings on HBO's Ballers. He was in Sharknado and Lavalantula. Is that a takeoff on Tarantula? Movies, Lavalantula movies. I don't know what that is. Steve Guttenberg, 68. Anyway, for the record. And on this day in history, 1814, during the War of 1812, the United States and England, British troops enter Washington, D.C. and burn the White House. They found President James Madison and his First Lady Dolly had fled to safety when they got there. Soldiers sat down to eat a meal made of leftover food from the White House scullery using White House dishes and silver, and then ransacked the place and set it on fire. 3 days later, President Madison came back And he had asked him, before he left, he asked his wife, Dolly, if she had the courage to wait for his intended return and gather all the important state papers and get ready to abandon the White House. Well, the next day, Dolly and servants looked at the horizon with spy glasses, saw the troops coming. So she said, forget all the personal stuff, belonging, all the papers and stuff. Instead, Dolly Madison gave the order to save the full-length portrait of former President George Washington. Dolly wrote to her sister and said the difficulty was severe because the portrait was screwed to the wall. So she ordered the frame broken and the canvas pulled out and rolled up. President Madison and his wife were able to return 3 days later. They never again lived in the White House. They lived in the Octagon House. And then in 1817, 3 years later, newly elected President James Monroe moved back into what would become the White House again. For the record, 4:54. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Got Flounder's Funny coming up here for you, too. Speaking of television, as it was earlier, and the death of Hayden Panettiere, Melissa Gilbert has been posting information, which is ironic because her husband, of course, a well-known actor, is facing child sex abuse charges. Melissa Gilbert says that within 1 year, Michelle Trachtenberg and Davy Chase, two other women who died young and were child actress stars years ago, and Hayden Panettiere have all died. Little House on the Prairie alum wrote a Substack essay called Enough is Enough. Three former child actors of the same generation, tragically, heartbreakingly, agonizingly too soon. These are sweet, wildly talented, vibrant, vital young women. Why have they gone? Trachtenberg died at 39, complications of diabetes. Chase died in June of AIDS. And Panettiere, of course, after her off-again boyfriend, apparently might have been a drug overdose thing. Anyway, Melissa Gilbert says, it feels like we're all in there together. She said Dakota Fanning, Brooke Shields, Ella Fanning, Drew Barrymore, to name a few, members of the same trial, female child performers. And it's like an electric current. When one of us dies so close together, something's very wrong. Child stars know the stories of how entertainment industry uses, abuses, exploits, and throws us away. The youngest go first. For some reason, the trend is getting worse. And she said, quote, my thinking is that it's tied to the invention of the mobile phone. Melissa Gilbert said her father died when she was 11 years old, and she had to go back to work. Not one single adult on the set talked with me about it or offered condolences. I later found out that the fear was I would become too upset to work. I was 11. My daddy just died. I was shattered. Thank God, she wrote, my character cried in every single episode. That, as twisted as it sounds, was my therapy and my release. And Melissa Gilbert said child stars should come together to enact real substantive change and to free the mental health resources for actors at this young age should be a top priority. Timothy Busfield, her husband, is in charge with child sex abuse. She says there's no way that could be true. Anyway, but again, the business with these child actors and the way they're treated, and it's really getting worse and worse. And, of course, Hollywood as an entity is way worse than it used to be. At least, I don't know, as far as we know. And, by the way, very quickly, there's a new study out about how much TV time does things to your body and your brain. Long hours in front of the TV during young adulthood linked to poor cognitive function later in life. Watching more than 3 hours of TV a day with low levels of physical activity in early adulthood have a worse executive function and processing speed in midlife. People who watch a moderate amount of TV, 2 to 3, 4 hours a day, more than 3 hours a day, had a higher risk of dementia. Those who watched the most TV had a family history of dementia, 42% higher chance of dementia, compared with only a 30% higher risk of dementia for those without a family history. But too much TV can lead to dementia problems. TV will rot your brain. Well, that warning's been around a long time, but they found out that gray matter actually disappears the more TV you watch. And the health concerns, 2 to 4 plus hours a day, more than 4 hours a day, you're going to have trouble being cognitively aware later in life. They say it affects your brain. How about another Flounder's Funny there? Flounder's Funny. One more shot here for you. Adios at 5 o'clock news coming up here. And then Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
Little things are happening. I fell down. I used to trip. Do you understand? Here's how life goes. Tripping, young. Falling, old. I fell down. It was significant. I'm calling it an adult fall. And I say that because I remember as a child, adults talking to other adults about falling in very hushed, serious tones. Do you remember those conversations? Ryan, Grandma fell. Did you tell her to get up? I fell 6 times. It's not even noon. What do you want from me? But I understand now. I have a little empathy. I had my own adult fall. I fell on the streets of New York City. People were around. I mean, there was no denying it. Everyone asked, "Are you okay?" Yes. But let me make this point. Not everyone meant it. That's true. 2 25-year-old girls on the street go, "Are you okay?" I mean, there was... zero empathy in their reaction. The words came out of their mouth. What they actually communicated was, "I wish my camera was on for that. That was spectacular." Are you okay? Has anyone ever answered no to "Are you okay" in the history of falling down? My body was screaming I was not okay. And I still said, "I'm fine. I want to die alone right here. Put the orange cones around me and leave me alone."
Mr. Ryan Hamilton.
Very funny. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230 if you want to join us on 106.3. How's your Monday? Look out. Here we go.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3.
The clock is ticking. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That message from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying the U.S. is putting countries and other entities on notice to cut economic ties with Iran or face financial consequences.
We are going to hold everyone accountable, and this is economic asphyxiation of this regime.
Iran remains defiant, warning any support for the new sanctions will be considered an act of war.
The Secretary of Iran's National Security Council writing today, quote, "If the economic war continues, not a single drop of oil will be exported, neither through the Strait of Hormuz nor from anywhere in the Persian Gulf. But the pressure is beginning to tell in Iran. Inflation is skyrocketing. The availability of goods is dropping just as fast."
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Tel Aviv. The U.S. Supreme Court just clearing the way for an executive order restricting mail-in voting. However, the decision appears to leave room for more challenges in court, with time running out to make changes ahead of the midterms. Closing arguments expected this week at the trial of Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts mom charged with murdering her 3 young children. The defense claiming postpartum psychosis.
The court ended for the day with one of the prosecution's final 2 experts, forensic psychologist Dr. Kirk Heilburn. Now, Dr. Kirk says after interviewing Lindsay Clancy and reviewing her records, he testified he does not believe Clancy killed her 3 children because a male voice commanded her. He noted experiencing a temporary auditory hallucination and never before or after is very, very rare. Instead, Dr. Heilburn testified he believes Clancy was attempting suicide and deliberately wanted to take her children with her.
Fox's Brian Enes at the courthouse in Plymouth, where at one point today, the judge rejected a defense motion for a mistrial. America is listening to Fox News.
Here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. So loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Born on America's darkest day, September 11th, 2001, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, they have been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like U.S. Army Sergeant William Bernard McKenna, exposed to burn pits McKenna later died from T-cell lymphoma, leaving his wife, Dina, and 2 daughters. Tunnel to Towers honored Sergeant McKenna. They paid off the family's mortgage in honor of all of his sacrifice. Donate $11 a month. If you have a car to donate, if you have land to donate, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org today.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank, bendy on your dog target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Giver with Pete Davis and Flounder and you on 106.3. How's it going? Braves off today, but they'll be back tomorrow and a little homestand for a while. And our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Don't forget, we'll be at the Shuckin' Shack on Wednesday, doing the show this Wednesday, at the Shuckin' Shack in Cumming, 415 Peachtree Parkway in Cumming. Wednesday, 3 to 6, doing the show. And there's plenty of parking. It's big, like parking lot area there thing. So Shuckin' Shack incoming. Wednesday, doing the show, 3 to 6, and 415 Peachtree Parkway. And hope you join us. It'll be fun. They have some great food and, have a little entertainment. Love to talk to folks here live on the scene and having a good time. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's see. A quick update. Remember last week I got trapped into a thing temporarily and realized it was probably stupid and a setup when I got a text on my phone and it said something like, did you get my text? Have you blocked me? You didn't respond to my text or something. And I wrote back and said, I'm not, your friend. I didn't block you. I don't know who this is. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. And I said, no problem. She said, oh, you seem so nice. And then she started trying to get me to, she said, well, I'm going to be down there in the Atlanta area. Maybe we can meet and I can buy you lunch for thanking you for being so nice. Please. That was what said. This woman theoretically lived in British Columbia and she's going to be in town for a wedding. And by mistaken texting, and I was so nice by not yelling at her for getting the wrong text number. She said, let's meet and I'll buy you dinner to thank you. So obviously, at that point, and I've told you guys about it, obviously it's a setup. She's trying to get me to, send her money to fly down here. I mean, whatever it is.
It's a whole scam. It's set up to get you to get a loan.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's out of British Columbia.
In fact, you know what just happened over the weekend? 2 things. On Saturday, I got her. She texted me back again. The same original one. And then yesterday, I got a text from a girl named Lena. And it says, hey, did you get my text? Did you get my message? I need to make sure you got my message. And I didn't even bother on this one because it's the same thing. They just changed the name. I mean, another girl, different name. To get me to go back into, it's just unbelievable. I guess it must work. They must get people to do whatever it is they're trying to get them to do, loans or whatever it is, send them money. It must work. Can you imagine? Oh, you're so nice. Gee, let me buy you dinner. I'll be in Atlanta in November. I said, oh, my God. What are you talking anyway? So just for the record, just be careful, these people. Let's see. A couple other things. Oh, by the way, there's a little kind of a consumer tip, if you don't mind. In fact, let me ask you boys. Pete Davis, Flounder's in the back of the room, so I'll ask him when he comes back. Pete Davis, have you ever tried to use Windex on your car windshield?
No, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that either.
If you do use Windex, what is the issue with Windex? When you get a Windex and a paper towel...
Smears.
What's that?
Smears.
Yeah, and the only reason it smears is because the only thing you can use with Windex is newspaper. Maybe that's just an only thing like me, but I'm telling you, if you want to clean a window with Windex, you can't use a paper towel. It just smears it all over the place. You have to use newspaper. Well, I found something called Sprayway. One word, Sprayway, and it's a can, and it's foam. And when I got my car back from the shop, and I realized, in fact, just this morning I looked at it, the back window's got all kinds of dust and stuff on it. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this Sprayway. So I don't even know where I got it. Somewhere, Sprayway, and it's a glass cleaner, and it's foam. And you can use paper towels to clean the windows. I mean, what a silly little thing that is. But if I guarantee you, I'm not the only one in the world listening right now who realizes that you can't use Windex on glass unless you use you use newspaper, printed newspaper to get the thing to clean it. Paper towels now this thing does spray away, and it worked beautifully with paper towels. And so that's what I have in my trunk of my car in case I need to clean the windshield and the back there. Anyway, just a little consumer tip for you. All right, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We'll talk about the best in clearing. Oh, you know what, Flounder? Let's do this. In case you missed it, some sad news in the world of entertainment today. A girl I had a severe crush on back in the late 50s, as I recall. And she's famous for something other than acting, too. Flounder, if you will, please. That means you to me. Shelley Fabares has passed away at 82. Shelley Fabares, television and film, long-standing career as Mary Stone in the Donna Reed Show from 1958 to 1965. Fabares was well known for being Christine Armstrong in the TV series Coach with Jerry Van Dyke and Craig T. Nelson. She starred opposite Elvis Presley in several films, including the 1965 flick Girl Happy, 1966 Spin Out, 1967 Clam Bake. Shelley Fabares released her chart-topping hit Johnny Angel in 1962. And she has survived, passed away after a brief illness at 82 over the weekend. Shelley Fabares survived by her husband, Mike Farrell, the famous actor from MASH, among other things. They were married in 1984. Shelley Fabares had a liver transplant 25 years ago after an autoimmune hepatitis diagnosis. Shelley Fabares passed away at 82. 510, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Oh, an update on the Clancy case. The news people mentioned it a minute ago. The woman named Clancy who murdered her children, and they've been, this is an impossible situation. There'll be closing arguments at some point pretty soon. There's pretty much almost a final rebuttal witnesses called in her trial. And I don't even know how to feel about the whole thing. There's no way that this has any kind of a justifiable, satisfactory ending, no matter what happens to her after what she did to those children. But the prosecution called for final rebuttal witnesses in her trial. But the judge today made a ruling where the defense team wanted a mistrial today. Her attorney argued that prosecutors improperly raised the concept of moral sin. The judge said, nah, that's problematic to talk about moral sin, but he told the juries to just ignore it. She's not disputed that she killed them. She was suffering from postpartum psychosis. And so now they're saying postpartum is not a defense, and there's a difference between being depressed and blaming it on having the pregnancy and the birth. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know how they're going to try to figure this out. There are competing witnesses, expert witnesses. One defense expert witness says, oh, it was postpartum, man. She had no control, didn't know what she was doing. A prosecution witness, also postpartum guy, said, no, she wasn't postpartum. She was just, she planned it. I mean, it's just, I don't know how. And then what's supposed to happen to her? Her 3 kids are dead. Her husband went to the store, came back to find them dead, and she tried to kill herself and crippled herself instead, so she's still alive, but she tried to kill herself. Can you imagine being that husband? And how he goes back to the house now to live? I mean, how are you supposed to figure all that out?
This is being looked at differently by women. Like the liberal women think she's a hero, probably because she killed her kids. Yeah. And other women who aren't liberal, I heard two discussing this Friday night, who are following this closely, and both of them think the husband probably did it.
I saw a girl, Pete, just like that, being interviewed over the weekend, who said, guarantee the husband did it. There's no way. I mean, we got away. I mean, there's
a lot of little bitty things they were pointing out little bitty things that just don't add up. Now, I'm not paying attention to it at all. I could care less.
I haven't seen anything about it.
But they are, and they were pointing out things that he was doing that just seemed weird. and that didn't fit the facts too much. I don't know. I'm not paying too close to. I'm telling you, women are looking at this different than men are.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. In fact, celebrate. I mean, we made a joke about the Babylon Bee saying Mangione has all these. He's only guilty of breaking all the liberal women's hearts in America and making them fall in love with him. And again, the women are showing up with placards and signs and protesting about her being on the case at all. But let me ask you this: if he did it, she would have known something, and why hasn't she testified about not doing it? So I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, the whole thing is just horrible. And again, there's a case today where in Pennsylvania, I think it was Pennsylvania, a college kid with his loving girlfriend, teenager, killed her, stabbed her, said a demon made him do it. And so now they're talking about mental challenges. I mean, I don't understand this. I mean, the whole thing just makes me sick. And again, even if they find her guilty, but mentally incapable or mentally insane or whatever, does she go to a mental hospital the rest of her life, or does she go until she's cured and then they let her go? Should she ever? I mean, how are we supposed to deal with a case like this? I mean, Mike, and by the way, just for the record, I know this is silly. I don't want to be late to sports. For the record, if she was totally insane, if she couldn't help herself and she did it, and now realizes, oh my God, I killed my kids. After if she gets cured, should then she be punished for what another person inside her did? Kind of deal. You know what I mean? Is it fair for her to be sane and say, oh my God, even though she wasn't responsible, she was responsible? I don't know. I mean, it's just, how do you deal with this? Oh, I can't even think about it.
Mental institutions should be for.
Yeah. And by the way, she's not the only one should be on trial. The doctors and the nurses who enabled her to have this happen after all the medicine and everything else ought to be held accountable for something. All right, hold everything. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Holy crap at sports. We got baseball. We got World Series, Little League style. And we got Holy crap at sports with Pete Davis next on 106.3. It's coming up. Look out.
Neil Bortz is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
Well, you never know when you're going to need some paperwork that you haven't been able to find in the past until you get yourself a safe from Atlanta Safe House in Alpharetta. The new location, Union Hill Road in Alpharetta. And again, obviously, the first thing you think about, people like me with safes is gun safes. My first gun safe was a Browning decades ago. Browning, Fort Knox, they have more. Atlanta Safe House has more of those brands and top new brands than anybody around here. 500 of them ready to go. And because they have so many in the top brands, there's always special and sales and rebates. They're really known for their rebates. So you're going to save a whole bundle of money. And again, it's not just, gun safes and jewelry safes and vault doors. And they can build you a family storm shelter for that matter. And don't forget Atlanta Safe House. These folks are patriots and they're going to protect your rights. Nobody's getting your master reset code to protect your stuff as well. And again, when I thought I lost stuff and couldn't find it, then I did have it because I kept a copy. And that's where it comes in. Your living will, your any money left in my account when the time comes for my kids know where to find it. And your family knows where to find stuff too. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military. And the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
Here today with Evan Ward from Atlas Retirement. And Evan, I know you've been quite busy in the office these days. So let's talk about some of the things folks are calling you most about here lately.
Well, Kevin, the biggest thing people are really talking about right now is retirement. And I look at retirement as a journey, not a destination. The goal of almost everybody out there is to grow and preserve a tax-efficient portfolio so they can actually enjoy their retirement. And that's why I partnered with Market Guard. I get a lot of the same questions. Evan, when do I sell? When do I hold? And if I sold, when do I get back into the market? In my opinion, that's market timing. And in my experience, market timing, it can be quite confusing. And we have to look at it and allow the math to do the work.
Everybody has a different appetite for risk. So where does Market Guard fit in?
Well, if you want asset preservation and you don't want it to go down due to market volatility, we have portfolios that are designed for this. But if you want to participate in those larger markets, Market Guard can also offer more stock and aggressive portfolios for those that are looking for that kind of strategy. And here's what I propose for our listeners today. For the next 10 callers, we're going to do a Market Guard portfolio comparison, side by side with what you're currently doing, and we'll show you how your 401k and other investments are doing. And we'll make recommendations, and then you can see the difference between Market Guard and what it can do for your portfolio. After that, you decide if you want us to do a complete retirement plan. So give us a call today at 678-736-7799 and ask for your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison.
Again, call Evan Ward with Atlas Retirement. That number, folks, 678-736-7799, and you can pick up your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison. That's 678-736-7799. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? You know what drives me nuts? Home improvement companies that quote one price and then add charges to it. I've been trusting my friend Jeff Shea at Peach State Windows for years, and it's because he does stuff like this. Here's the deal. 1,000 square feet of premium James Hardie fiber cement siding installed for only $6,985. That's including removal of your old siding, professional installation, and paint. No surprises, just one price. PeachStateWindows.com. That's PeachStateWindows.com. Peach State Windows, quality that lasts. All right, I got first person to swim across the English Channel with no life preserver, a Navy captain, Matthew Webb, on this day in 1875, but it took him to the following day to finish. 21 hours and 45 minutes, no life preserver, the English Channel. And now, holy crap at sports with Pete Davis.
Braves salvaged another series last night by doubling up Milwaukee in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, 4-2. Raisel Iglesias got the final four shaky outs, almost giving up a game-winning three-run homer to former Braves catcher William Contreras. But Michael Harris II caught up to it. Michael had a solo homer, much to the glee of the Little Leaguers in attendance, and lots of great defensive plays, including how the game ended.
The 1-2. Check swing right back to the mound. Iglesias goes to second. Skips the throw for one out. Over to first base. Double play.
Both of them, both Olsen and Dubon.
Yeah.
Picked it up out of the dirt. It was a great ending to it. Ben Ingram on sister station 680 The Fan. Tyler Mahle improves to 5-10. What a find he's been so far. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. Didier Fuentes, 2 scoreless innings. Dylan Lee touched for 1 run. Iglesias, his 27th save. Mauricio Dubon and Sean Murphy both had RBIs. It was Carl Ravage's last Sunday night baseball broadcast after decades at ESPN. There were many thoughtful goodbyes, including one from Braves ace Chris Sale, who did a good job saying goodbye.
Excellent.
Having a major league game in Williamsport, brilliant idea.
Yeah. Ronald
Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies look like kids out there enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Braves are off today. The National League West Division leading Dodgers in town for 3 games starting tomorrow night. Glasnow against Elder. Despite this recent rough patch, the Braves' lead over Philly is still 3 games. The Phillies were down 4-0 at home with 2 outs in the 9th yesterday before rallying to beat the Cardinals. Schwarber, basically hit a home run to walk off.
Yeah, he's a monster.
The Brewers have a 6-game lead over the Cubs in the National League Central. Steven on Twitter points out the Braves have now played 131 games. In their first 66, they went 45-21. In their last 65, they've gone 31-34. ESPN reports when the Braves hit a homer, they're 62-27. When they don't, they're 14-28. Shortstop Jim Jarvis sent down to Gwinnett. Outfielder Brewer Hicklin, already up, will stay. Expect to see Gold Glover Dubon at short from here on out. Former Braves reliever Tyler Kinley signs a minor league deal with the Tigers. The Astros have fired general manager Dana Brown. He's a former executive under Alex Anthopoulos here in Atlanta. Houston is actually tied with Texas for first place in the American League West, despite both teams being 1 under 500, one game under.
Good grief.
Yeah, first place.
Yeah.
The saga of AWOL Arizona second baseman Ketel Marte is getting stranger. After not showing up for the Diamondbacks series in Boston last week, being put on the restricted list and finally being put on the injured list for some reason, Ketel was seen cavorting at a Phoenix casino Friday night. His so-called injured knee was obviously strong enough to sit at a roulette table. Once again, we have a spoiled athlete who will continue to be pampered by management even when his teammates would like an explanation. Where the hell did you go? Why did you abandon us? And don't give me the crap about his mental state. I don't remember ever hearing a psychiatrist prescribe gambling as the mental health.
The baseball players, at least show up with a team. My God, I mean, that's just sportsmanship. That's just showing you care about what you're doing. What a bunch of crap.
Yeah. It's not the first time he did it. And last year he had an excuse. I think there was a fire at his house.
Yeah.
This year,
no.
He decided not to show up. I'd take away his money.
Seriously.
Take the money away, and they quit doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Michael Penix Jr. cleared for full 11 on 11 workouts by his doctor, and Penix looked better than Tua in practice today. Those guys split times with the starters and all that up there in Flowery Branch, and they said Penix looked better. Falcons spanked the Colts up in Indianapolis Saturday afternoon, 34-6. Jack Strand looked really good, both passing and running. Cooper Rush did not play badly either. If I had to pick a choice for the third stringer, I'm going with Strand. Hell, I may even pick him over Tua. We even have a catchphrase for when Jack Strand wins. You can say the other team just got stranded.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. In the second half, Jack had a 13-yard touchdown pass to former Georgia running back Cash Jones. Strand also scored on an 18-yard scramble. He finished the game 12 of 17, 212 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing.
Wow.
He looked better than any of them for a while. Former Iowa running back Tyler Goodson carried the ball 6 times for 59 yards, including the 49-yard touchdown scamper. I think one person may have touched him at the 5-yard line, while Nathan Carter scored a short yardage TD. When Goodson scored, lots of teammates, not even in the uniforms, ran out to greet him. It got a penalty, but who cares? It's exhibition game, and it was fantastic. They run out there to hug him. There's only one more exhibition game left to decide who's going to be the starting QB. Friday night in Miami against the Dolphins, Tua's former team. And I keep hearing some people say we should keep Cooper Rush over Jack Strand because Cooper's experience. Experience at what? Losing? Playing badly in regular season games? No. You know what you have with Cooper Rush? You don't have a clue about Jack Strand yet. It'd be so typical of this franchise, the Falcons, to keep a never was and trade a possibility. Remember Brett Favre?
Yeah. Right. That's right. That's right.
Of course, Brett had his own problems when he was here, and he straightened them out when he got to Green Bay. Strand may be a flash in the pan, but he's better than a dust in a bin. That's my opinion. Welcome yours. If you watch Cooper Rush play for Dallas last year, he ain't nothing. So please. Head coach Kevin Stefanski says the starters will play some in Friday night's contest. He will not say if Penix will play, which he probably will. You gotta. If you're gonna have a chance to start in game one, the 13th in Pittsburgh. Please.
It'd be ugly.
The Patriots trading wide receiver Kayshon Boutte to the Texans for safety Jalen Reed and a 2028 7th-round draft pick. Andy Agar tweets, New England head coach Mike Vrabel made one last booty call. Little Diana Rossini joke there.
Yowie.
It'll never end. Like 28-3.
It'll never go away.
First-year Cleveland head coach Todd Monken has chosen 30-year-old Deshaun Watson over Shadur Sanders to be the Browns' opening day starter, despite Sanders outplaying Watson and Deshaun angering the Cleveland fans further by saying their booing of him was disrespectful and was more about him than his play. No, Deshaun, it's about you and your play. Monken did say this could change game by game. And it probably
I
will.
saw his interview on TV, and I was flabbergasted. I mean, he literally said, well, these fans, when I got hurt, they cheered. So, that's the kind of people I'm dealing with, he hates the fans, and he knows they hate him, and that's what I think. Holy cow. He blasted the fans when he's getting a starting job. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's nothing a good massage won't fix.
Lord, I mean, there could have been. He could have taken a high road in about 4 different ways to bring it around. Or we got the greatest fans. I'm going to do better for him, and we're all going to be something. Jeez.
Well,
what a bum.
Today he's apologizing for what he said. His emotions got the best of him.
Oh, that's going to work.
Like I said, just one. Well, anyway. Yeah. Speaking of getting handed a job or something like that, 49ers owner Jed York pleaded no contest to a pair of misdemeanor charges today after being arrested in Ohio on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. Police now they didn't say whether he was trying to get hookers or if he was being one himself. When you're engaged in prostitution,
could have been misunderstood entirely.
The term they used, Pete, was criminal tools.
I'm about to get to that. Yeah. Police arrested York yesterday on a charge description of engaging in prostitution. Charge amended to that misdemeanor disorderly conduct. He pleaded no contest to that, and the additional charge of possessing criminal tools.
I don't know what that burglary tools.
How many tools does he have? Is he some kind of mutant?
Apparently, it's considered a cell phone. His cell phone was the criminal tool.
Because he's ordering the escort.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
Otherwise known as the Hugh Freeze machine.
Yeah, it was $140. He wanted a girl to do things for $140.
But he paid over $1,000 American dollars in fines, sentenced to 1 day in jail for each charge. He's already served 1. He's a majority owner of the Niners for the last 2 years, has been the team's CEO since 2008. He's originally from Youngstown, Ohio. I tell you what, the girls from Youngstown may have some kind of special pull for him.
Well, he's also married and has a couple of kids.
Yeah.
Good
Not
grief.
anymore. Back to the Browns. Cleveland waived tight end Daquan Wright, freeing him to go back to college and play for LSU if he clears NFL waivers. I'm sorry, I used the word college and LSU in the same sentence.
That's not right there.
Wright is believed to be the first player to have an agreement to return to play in college after signing with an NFL team as an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Eagles after the draft, then claimed on waivers by the Brownies. He didn't appear in either of Cleveland's first 2 preseason games. Wright has not practiced in more than a week, but he dressed for the Browns' second preseason game against Buffalo on Saturday. He's been sidelined because of an injury. And what a shock that Lane Kiffin is behind this nonsense. And once again, let me say that Congress, thinking about giving more power to the NCAA, the same idiots who made this mess in the first place, is insane.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. And it's all money.
Yeah. And speaking of Lane Kiffin, the executive director of Ole Miss's NIL Collective says the FBI searched the Rebels football office for recording devices after former coach Kiffin left. Walker Jones, who co-founded the Grove Collective, says the FBI searched for bugs in the football offices at the Manning Center once Kiffin bolted, saying we knew kind of what was in Baton Rouge and we knew how they operated. I remember getting on my knees, looking underneath the desk, like checking, is there any sort of bug in my office? When asked why he was looking under his desk, Jones says, trust me, you don't know this guy Kiffin like I do.
Wow.
Now, head coach Pete Golding says that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, saying Ole Miss did not hire the FBI, but that a student's dad was an FBI agent who said, I'll help you look through the office.
Did they say if they found anything or anything would have been there was missing?
They would, if they'd have found something, you would have heard about it by now. Atlanta United is on a roll. They're nipping Sporting KC 2-1. And you've heard of squirrels, snakes, ducks, and raccoons on the playing field. But how about a baby? An MLS game brought to an abrupt halt Sunday night. A baby found his way into the field during the final moments of Minnesota United's 5-1 win over the San Jose Earthquakes. The infant intruder spotted on the field by officials. Baby also seen by Apple TV analyst Kendra De St. Alban, who was audibly shocked and said, "Oh, there's a baby on the field." He was scooped up, but not before getting a red card from the referee.
Well, there you are. Interference with that.
Lots of other stuff. All right, that's sports.
Well, a couple of quick birthdays. How about Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, retired NBA star, 61, does TNT commentary. Let's see, Vince McMahon, the fight guy, 81 today. And Cal Ripken Jr., 66, Hall of Famer, didn't miss a day of work for 16 years.
Oh, by the way,
yes.
This date, 1919, in his first start as a member of the Indians since being traded from the Red Sox, Ray Caldwell is knocked unconscious after being struck by lightning with 2 outs in the top of the ninth. The 31-year-old spitballer out for 5 minutes, then gets up, refuses to leave the game because I just need one more out for a complete game victory. He gets it. A 2-1 win over Philadelphia at Cleveland's League Park.
After hit by lightning?
Knocked out.
No. If there's a story in the news about a woman and her baby got killed. Hit by lightning over the weekend. Oh, man.
It was twin, and one lives, and she's lost her sister and her mother.
Unbelievable. Lightning strike. Camera Pete and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 106.3. So much more coming up right up till 6 o'clock on a beautiful, hot, steamy summer afternoon. How you doing? Look out. Well, maybe getting a little cooler coming up here, but still growing season, and that's where Stovall & Company comes in. Stovall & Company, your wholesale landscaping supply firm. And again, the best, well, not the best thing, they got all this stuff, great stuff in the world, flowers, trees, plants, and shrubs, and irrigation systems and stuff to help build a fireplace or kitchen by the pool or something. But if you need something, really, you're a builder contractor, and there's some real special thing the family wants, and you can't find it, and Stovall doesn't have it, but they know where it is, they'll tell you where else to get it. It's a great company. Paul and the boys, Trip and Devin, taking care of. And, of course, on-site job delivery is probably on the way. StovallInc.com.
Hey, Braves fans, it's Tom Glavine, and when my ride needs a wash, I head straight to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Their friendly team and industry-leading technology give my car the ultimate shine every time. Experience an elite clean you can count on at Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and my go-to car wash destination.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Hello, folks. This is your captain speaking. As we prepare to take off, I'd like you to draw your attention to the dimmed lights, lit candles, and soothing sounds of smooth jazz. We'll be making love shortly and taking off in just a moment. Please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. And this is your captain speaking again. As you can see, we're experiencing engine failure. Looks like we're not going to get this bird off the ground tonight.
Sound like your sex life? Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? If you're struggling with ED, we understand the feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there is help. You need Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They specialize in treatments like the P-Shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimix. Schedule your appointment today. Call 404-777-1911 and learn more online at tbtofga.com.
Black Atlantans without racial chips on their shoulders ought to be showing up at the Toast on Lennox to make the next week or so the best on record.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. The Doors, 106.3. Yeah, I got a little fire here for you there. The Doors, on this day in 1966, began recording their first album at Sunset Sound Studios in Los Angeles. The Doors developed much of their material for their debut during live performances in 1966, mostly at the Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A. The album contains the full-length version of the group's breakthrough single, Light My Fire, and concludes with what's called The End, noted for its improvised Oedipal spoken word section. The album is now widely considered one of the greatest albums in rock history and is consistently ranked among the greatest albums of all time. I never would have thought that. Okay, well, again, I don't know nothing about no music. Anyway, let's see a couple of birthdays here. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I got a story here, and I got to use my phone for part of my birthday thing because it's important. Here we go. Now. Our birthday list includes Marlee Matlin. Marlee Matlin is 61 years old. Won the best actor. God, I can't speak.
She won the best ass award.
I'm not good. I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. I took a nap. Right. I got
the best ass award.
Oh Lord, Mr. Diggy's going to make me start doing his lawn again if I don't snap out of this. Got an edge and everything. It's horrible.
Snap out of it.
I can't. It's bad. Marlee Matlin is 61. She is deaf. In 1987, Marlee Matlin won Best Actress Oscar for Children of a Lesser God, which was her debut film. She won the Oscar for her first movie ever. Marlee Matlin became deaf at the age of 18 months old, and I looked up something that I'd heard about this, and here's the story. The question, why did Marlee Matlin live with Henry Winkler? Had you known about that? I did not know this.
She was with William Hurt, I know. But
Marlee Matlin was struggling with drug addiction and domestic abuse because of her partner, William Hurt. After she got out of rehab from domestic abuse and drugs because of William Hurt, her friend Henry Winkler took her in for 2 years while she continued to recover. Marlee Matlin said, "That family took me in as if I were one of their own." Fonzie, the Henry Winkler story. Let's see, a history thing here. Pete Davis, baseball commissioner Bart Giamatti on this day in 1989 banned Cincinnati Reds legend and manager Pete Rose, banned from the game for gambling. That lifetime ban is still in effect. Kermit, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Once again, just a quick update in case you missed it. Enes Kanter, Freedom, was kicked out of the Fever Sky game in Chicago over the weekend last night, and Sky guard Natasha Cloud started basically verbally attacking him. It's not clear exactly what set off the situation, but she made a layup and started to say something where Enes Freedom was sitting. In fact, after the game, Flounder, let's do the Enes Freedom soundbite here. He was interviewed and described what happened at this weird event over the weekend.
It was towards the end of the third quarter. Sophie Cunningham shot a three, and I put my hands up to celebrate, right? Couple position later, Natasha came back and started screaming and yelling and said, "She's not going to sleep with you." And I was like, I am not trying to sleep with her. I'm just here to protect women and support her. And then obviously after that, she started yapping and she started to walk towards me. And then I was like, I'm just here to protect women, and that's all. And then she started to yell. She started to use some very heavy language. She started to actually cuss. And I was very shocked that there were a lot of kids and there were a lot of teenagers was at that game. And I just cannot believe that she was just cussing and using those F-bombs. Then after that, the security guy, came, and then I was like, listen, you need to leave. I was like, can you please tell me why do I need to leave? They said, look, you just need to leave. I don't want to say they dragged me, but they pretty much pushed me to leave the gym.
Yeah, and he later said, how about that? Let that sink in America. I got kicked out of a WNBA game for supporting women. It's always women hating on other women. Unquote, Enes Freedom. He got booed when he showed up in the venue to watch the game, booed by WNBA fans. And, Pete, you said there's an update now about the WNBA. Is there anything new on what they're saying lately about this whole business of the two males, or possibly more coming up, who want to do tryouts for the WNBA?
Let's see. It says right here, according to sources on ESPN, WNBA has not announced any plans to prevent Enes from attending future games, blah, blah, blah. Sources around the league say Kanter Freedom and fellow player Royce White are not eligible to play in the league after they declared themselves women and eligible for the draft, but they won't say who's saying that and how they're going to keep them out.
Yeah, what does that mean? Not eligible by whose standards? It's got to be written down
WNBA?
somewhere. Yeah, but
the WNBA standards, but they get to show what they are.
What standard? I mean, where is it written
as they
down?
Would say, you know the standards.
You know what we mean.
You know.
Yeah,
you know what you did.
After you wake up in the mornings.
In my dream. Yeah. Okay, what happened is Enes and Royce upset the WNBA in their dream.
Yeah, well, you didn't save me last night. What?
You cheated on me in my dream.
I caught you with that.
That hussy.
Oh, mercy. I mean, seriously, it's got to happen. I'm glad. There's going to have to come to a final decision on what is a man, what is a woman, and who can play. And if a man can play, how come and under what standards? Now, I don't know whether they're going to try to say you have to prove you're a tranny or for a certain length of time or taken medicine or had your stuff lopped off. I mean, this is ridiculous. And again, I was watching some girls softball again. There's actually a professional women's softball team, which I was watching. How come it's only the women's basketball team where there's this much hate and division and racism and complaints? I mean, it's just...
there's always been trouble on the women's soccer team, but not to this extent.
Not like this.
No.
I mean, this is different. This is really different. And what's tranny got to do? I mean, it's just the whole thing is just ridiculous. And I'm glad they're pushing it because you have to come to some kind of conclusion. All right, hold everything. All right, more news. All right, now.
Thing, I mean, it's odd that it's at the forefront of topics right now over Iran. Even in the political realm, it's one of the big topics to talk about.
It's distraction. It's how they distract the populace.
Well,
bread and circus.
On the other hand, I now maybe it's just my age again soon, but I'm really. I really hate to see the divisions in this country that are for reasons that aren't real. That they aren't, if you were talking about civil rights where black people were, prevented from getting jobs or literally could not vote or, trying to end a war or something. I mean, the major issues where the public, real serious things that need to be absolved. But for this, this is just nonsense. Well, they're making it into it.
Because those things don't exist anymore, there isn't this great civil rights movement to trying to vote or to end a war. So they have to every generation has to find something that they have to rebel against or protest against and be unhappy against and emote against. Yeah. And there's nothing really big left except not having jobs and the robot's going to take your jobs. Everyone's bitching about stuff that doesn't matter because in 5 years, they're going to have something to bitch about.
Yeah.
No jobs.
But again, that's the economy. That's not, women's rights is one thing. Civil rights is racism.
There's nothing that anymore.
Yeah, that's all taken care of. I mean, what's the issue with there?
And they think if they do something like this, the tranny rights, that they're being as courageous as their great-grandparents and their grandparents were. No, you're not, because no one's going to lynch you if you show up to protest.
Right. And I guarantee you that if you really sat down and actually true opinions, there aren't many families in America over the dinner table who would agree that, okay, Johnny, who's 13 years old, would rather be a girl so you can go get surgery or get the gender-altering chemicals. I guarantee you families aren't going to just say, okay, fine, that's your decision at 13. And they're also not going to believe that it's okay for boys to play on girls' sports teams. That's why they call them girls' sports. Women's I mean, seriously, this is just ridiculous. I hold everything. The economy and the threats and economic D-Day. We got all that stuff coming. Plus Flounder's Funnies. And it's all coming up here. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder right up till 6 o'clock. And Braves are off and then back with the Dodgers starting tomorrow. All right, look out. Here we go.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
Hey, it's Drake Baldwin. Everyone knows my winning team on the field, but when there's no hot water, I need a win at my home base. When it comes to plumbing, my winning team is Superior. Superior Plumbing is there whenever I need a leak repaired, toilet replaced, or a water heater installed. For over 40 years, they've been Atlanta's go-to plumbers. And Superior is still locally owned. For Superior, there's no job too small.
For Superior, the honest one, call 770-422-PLUM.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy.
the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Your yard. It stresses you out between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, pet friendly, and looks amazing all year round. ATL Turf Co. is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen, or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at atlturfco.com. That's atlturfco.com.
Braves fans, mark your calendars as the Dodgers and Rockies come to town August 25th through the 30th. Fans can look forward to the Harry Potter and HBCU specialty ticket packages during the week. Both include a game ticket and a specialty bobblehead.
And that's crushed to deep right. Knocked out by Olsen.
Then make sure to arrive early on Saturday for Hunting and Fishing Night, presented by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources and Realtree. Enjoy a variety of interactive exhibits, including live reptiles, a massive aquarium display, inflatable archery, hunting license sales, and more fun for the whole family. Plus, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Chipper Jones Realtree APX Camo replica jersey. The week wraps up on Sunday as the first 3,000 kids through the gates will score the Kids City Connect Sliding Mick giveaway. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out the fun and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got Little Stevie. There we go. Look out. Fingertips, baby. $1963. Stevie Wonder became the first artist ever to score a U.S. #1 album and a single in the same week, both #1. Stevie Wonder was #1 at the album chart with Little Stevie Wonder. Hold on. I'm playing harmonica with Stevie. The Little Stevie Wonder, the 12-year-old genius, and then he also had the #1 single with Fingertips Part 2. Also, the first ever live recording to make #1. Wow. I mean, was he 12? Unbelievable. Well, hey, you can see. Everybody else you can see. Hey, hold everything. Kevin Payne Flounder to the phone's taking priority. Ghost Hunter Joel's on the radio. Hey, Ghost Hunter Joel, how you doing? What's up?
Doing well, fellas. Quickly, about turtles, a couple of weeks ago, I helped 2 turtles across the street.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
I saw I saw an adolescent, alligator snapping turtle.
Ooh.
I tried to help that one. It snapped at me. I said, no way, I'm out.
Yeah, you don't want to. It'll take your finger clean off and right through the bone.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But regarding the text message you got from that lady who wanted to buy you dinner,
Yeah, wanted to see
and
me.
you
Yeah.
felt it was a scam.
Yeah.
It was about 2 months ago. I think I made a comment on one of Shannon Burke's posts, and so some younger female followed me and started up a conversation with me, and I was like, "Hey, this is kind of cool." We just had a little small banter.
Yeah.
She was too young for me and way out of my league, but like every other day, she started mentioning cryptocurrency and, what do you think about this and that? And I was like, well, I don't know too much about that.
Yeah.
And finally, in a nice way, I just like, well, you know so much about this. You sound like an infomercial for crypto. Never heard from her again.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Again, the second one, another fake girl, tried the same thing. Gee, did you get my text? I need to hear back. You get my message? It's all a trap. And you'd think after the first one didn't work, and then it must be the same place, used a different girl's name. They must have gotten word about the killer. All right, thanks. Go Sutter Joel, man. Unbelievable. By the way, don't forget, we will be doing a live show coming for the Shuck and Shack folks. The Oyster Bar is Shuck and Shack in Cumming. The address is 415 Peachtree Parkway. Peachtree Parkway incoming Wednesday. Our Wednesday show, 3 to 6, Peachtree Parkway incoming. And we'll have the gang there. They got seafood and oysters and hot wings and sandwiches and drinks and people and stuff. So it'll be fun.
And once again, Bucky the blow-up doll will not be in attendance.
No, Bucky takes up too much room. We've too much of a crowd there to think if we're going to be able to possibly pull it off.
No blow-up dolls of any kind.
No, we don't. No, leave those at home, please. We're begging you. Just, for the record. Donald Trump is hammering economic D-Day over Iran. They say this could finally be the final thing. We'll find out. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says new sanctions imposed on Iran target the 5 most vital lifelines in Iran financially. Iran exploits digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping in other nations to prop up its economy. And here's what Scott Bessent said, Flounder, about what's going on with Economic D-Day #1. Scott Bessent right here. Right over in this area. So over there now talking and getting ready to address the crowd.
Iran now faces a very clear choice with only 2 paths before them: complete global isolation and a subsistence economy, or a path back to normalcy with an opportunity to rejoin the global economy. Today, we are launching Operation Economic Outcast to foreclose every other option available to the Iranian regime.
Well, he says the measures broaden the sanctions risk for anybody foolish enough to continue conducting business with them. This is economic asphyxiation. Asphyxiation of this regime. I don't know what the hell's going on. There's more words all of a sudden that have having trouble coming out of my mouth. And I don't know whether it's just because that's just the nature of the beast. I don't know. It's what a screwy, spoofy way. One more thing, Pete Davis, before we go on a freaking ESPN thing. They've hired an analyst named Brenda Song to be their new ESPN analyst. Brenda Song is an actress. She's that little kind of an Asian or Filipino cutie. She was a Disney actress, and she was also in The Social Network as one of those tramp bimbos who was all over, what's his name, when he became famous in college. Brenda Song is an actress who's now hired by ESPN as an analyst. She also has been engaged to Macaulay Culkin for 4 years, and they have 2 kids, but are not married.
Never heard of her.
Brenda Song. She's a real cutie. She was in Social Network. You may know her. Sorry, she was a Disney girl. You wouldn't know her from the Disney thing. She's fairly young, but Macaulay Culkin's fiance for the last 4 years.
She was in a booth over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going, who the hell's that?
Exactly. She's a freaking actress. Why would they get an actress in who's known for nothing unless you watch Social Network or Disney years ago? As now an ESPN analyst. And again, they showed those two little dancing boys with their little boy suits and their white sneakers, acting and doing skits to introduce the segments. Where did that come from? God, that's annoying.
Why do they have America hating Mina Kimes?
All right, yeah, there you go. Still alive and having fun. All right, one more Flounder's Funny. Flounder, before we hit the adios button here.
There is one more classic
birthday
Dave Chappelle.
Boy. Dave Chappelle birthday.
Talking about Trump.
53 today.
And I'm watching the news now. They're declaring the end of the Trump era. Now, okay, I can see how in New York you might believe this is the end of his era. I'm just being honest with you. I live in Ohio amongst the poor whites. A lot of you don't understand why Trump was so popular, but I get it because I hear it every day. He's very loved. And the reason he's loved is because people in Ohio have never seen somebody like him. He's what I call an honest liar. Well, I'm not joking right now. He's an honest liar. That first debate, I'd never seen anything like it. I've never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, "This whole system is rigged," he said. And across the stage was a white woman, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, sitting over there looking at him like, "No, it's not." I said, "Now, wait a minute, bro. It's what he said." And the moderator said, "Well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, as you suggest, what would be your evidence?" You remember what he said, bro? He said, "I know the system is rigged because I use it." I said, God. And then he pulled out an Illuminati membership card and chopped a line of cocaine up. No one ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, "This man doesn't pay his taxes." He shot right back. "That makes me smart." And then he said, "If you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code. But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors enjoy the same tax breaks that I do." And with that, my friends, a star was born. No one had ever seen anything like that. No one had ever seen somebody come from inside of that house, outside, and tell all the commoners, "We are doing everything that you think we are doing," inside of that house. They just went right back in the house and started playing the game again.
Birthday boy Dave Chappelle,
Dave
53.
Chappelle right there.
All right, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Braves back on action with the Dodgers. In the meantime, sing me home, Christine, baby. I gotta go. You're killing me. Well, look out, Herb.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Soon lose business and tourism visas. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The State Department planning to revoke B1 and B2 visas issued over the last decade to foreign visitors seeking asylum in the U.S.
The State Department spokesman says the department is coordinating with Homeland Security to identify and revoke the non-immigrant visas of foreigners who came to the U.S. claiming to be short-term visitors, but then filed for asylum to stay permanently. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau says asylum is not supposed to be a loophole to circumvent immigration law or extend tourist and business visas. The revocation could apply to as many as 200,000 foreigners, but is likely to